Are we live? Can you guys hear me? Let me know. Let me know in the chat if we're live, if we're good to go. Audio sounds good on my end. Hello, everybody. Hello, welcome. Can you guys hear me? Is everything sounding good? Is everything looking good? Let me know real quick in the live chat so we can begin with all the spicy drama today. There's even more spicy drama. I was gonna do something today, but I'll get into that in a second. Can you guys hear me? Everything good? All right, good. Nice to know. Hello, Prime. Thank you for becoming a member. His name is green in the chat, so I can see his name just so much better. So another reason why you should become a member. There's Uni in the chat. Hello, welcome. So, I'm Grizzly5 is also another member. Name is green in the chat. A lot easier to see. Another reason why you guys should become a member. To be honest, I know I'm just saying that to get people to pay for a membership on my channel and all that. Hit the join button, pay whatever amount, blah, blah. I know I'm just trying to get people to do that. But if you're a person who actively wants to debate and argue, like in the chat, whether you're pro Delirious, pro Ohm, pro whatever, or if you're just giving your opinion, if you've been pro TJV or anti TJV, doesn't matter. You should still do the membership so I can read what you guys say. For example, I'm Grizzly, just caught the stream at work. Thank you, Trevor. No problem. Hopefully you can watch the stream while you're at work. Prime says, pissed right now because YouTube did their signature. We need to fix it. Let's do the opposite and remove the dislike button. We're going to talk about that here in a second. That's going to open the doors for hells of bad videos, yes, and we're going to talk about that in just a second. Cactus Does, did you enjoy your early Christmas gifts? Yes, I did. Cactus Does went crazy. He bought me NASCAR 21 Ignition, and by the way, I heard the game is like shit and awful. I love it. I just love the idea of racing and going in a circle. Makes me calm. But regardless, thank you so much for that. He also got me another gift, but he told me not to say, so I'm not going to say anything. Grizzly5, go join the membership. It's worth it. Yeah, see, because I can read your guys' chat just so much better. Duh. But regardless, there's drama to talk about today, so we're not going to be talking about the memberships, and I don't want to focus too much on that either. Hashtag uncancel TJV. No, I'd prefer to be canceled, actually. There's a lot less pressure on you if you're canceled. But yeah. Bro, you should play Disney's Cars. It's actually on Steam, and it's beautifully broken. I might have to sometime. Okay, but I want to get into the drama. I want to get into everything. There's going to be 3 things that I want to accomplish today. We're probably only going to get through 2. And this is why. Lopez, $2 super chat. Lucky I got a string for early Christmas. Alright, thanks for the $2 super chat. Rebel XYZ _RE. Welcome to becoming a level 1 supporter and a member. Hopefully you use the green name in the chat responsibly. Thank you for becoming a level 1 supporter. Thank you for becoming a member. Okay, so there's 3 things I want to talk about today. We might only get to 2. 1, Keemstar mentioned me on Drama Alert. And we're going to talk about it. I just caught it before the stream, so shout out to, I think, Carnage, whoever it was. I forgot your name, I feel bad. Crazy Carnage Gaming. Okay, he brought it to my attention. Hello, Mr. Sen. But yeah, Keemstar mentioned me on Drama Alert. So we're going to talk about that real quick. That won't take long, but we're going to talk about it real quick. We're going to talk about the alleged victim in this situation, and she is kind of a victim of harassment, if you want to say that. A victim to anything else we have yet to see proof on, but we've seen Delirious and Liz lie repeatedly, and she thinks that there's more lies to Liz's video, and we're going to talk about that all here in a second. At TJV, this is going to become messy. Yes, it is. It's going to get real messy. Rebel, a new member, he sits here and says in the chat, hello, no probs. It's at least the membership I can afford, lol. Yes, do the cheapest one. If you have to do the cheapest one, that's completely fine. Because at the very end of the day, what I would like is for my memberships to be enough to where, like, I don't have to rely on super chats or ad revenue. And I could just start pushing that money either back towards the community or towards some sort of cause. For example, like Team C's. I want to do something for Team C's, but I might start that in December because I'm about to move to a new place. And, yeah, I kind of got approved to go get this house that I want, and I don't want to fuck up my financial situation before I even get into the house. So as soon as I get into the house, maybe in December, I like to do something like give back to you guys or give back to Team C's or something like that, and do what I can. But for right now, we have to build up the membership and stuff like that, so I appreciate it. TC Mopars, welcome to becoming a level 1 supporter and a member. Hopefully use the green name in the chat responsibly. Thank you for becoming a level 1 supporter. Thank you for becoming a member. But regardless, let me get to what I was going to. So we're going to talk about Keemstar. We're going to talk about the alleged victim's video. She talks about LizKatz and stuff like that. The third thing I want to get to is what Chilled Venom and Mr. Sen said in their own videos. I wanted to get around to their own opinions. If I can't get to their videos, I might just wait until they do another updated video and cover that. But I kind of want to cover what somebody else is talking about and then explain if I agree or disagree with them. Because I've disagreed with Mr. Sen and Chilled Venom both on multiple occasions, but me disagreeing and agreeing with them is a good way to show that, hey, we can all have different opinions in this situation and not be at each other's throats about it, because they've disagreed with me and agreed with me multiple times, and I think it's a good thing to do that, and a good thing to sit here and go back and forth on someone, especially another commentary channel, and especially if I think that they are good commentary channels. They just have different opinions and they approach things differently. So, I want to be able to get into this. M Grizzly5, congrats on the house, Trevor. Thank you. It's actually me and Blake Chambers who are getting the place. He has a channel. He's the bald, bearded guy who's always in my stream. Me and him are getting a place. So, yeah, it's going to be kind of cool. Amy made a video. Yes, she did, and we're about to cover that. But first, we got to cover Keemstar first, and Keemstar will be the first one. First one we cover. All right. For 2022, we need Team Skies. Yeah, they get rid of pollution in the air somehow. I don't know how they would do that. I mean, they could replace, gas-powered cars with electric vehicles. I don't know how else they would do Team Skies, maybe. I don't know. Maybe there's a way they can make the air cleaner. I mean, Team Trees is kind of doing that because it takes in CO2 and releases oxygen. But I don't know. Anyways, at TJV, did you see the Crow of Judgment video? I did not see the Crow of Judgment video. Maybe Mr. Sen can update us in the chat about what the Crow of Judgment video is. I don't know. Did they cover the information? I have no idea. Alright, so this is Keemstar's video, Deji missing help, YouTube removes the dislike button. This is the part where he mentions the dislikes. Keemstar mentions the whole thing about dislikes and stuff like that. And I want to explain real quick, you making Keem rage was the best. I didn't make him rage. I think he got his own thing. Maybe I did make him rage. I don't know. I don't know why he was so angry. But he talks about the YouTube dislike buttons here and how YouTube's removing the dislike button or whatever. Kind of dumb in my opinion, but they're going to remove the dislike button or remove the counter for the dislike button or whatever the thing is. And Keemstar mentions a experience he's been through where he got disliked a lot, and he blames that solely on me, and he kind of exaggerates a number here. So let me just show you what it is.
To creators in studio to help prevent targeted dislike attack. We know not everyone will agree on this decision, but we believe it's the right thing to do to make YouTube safer for all creators to express themselves. Blah, 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 blah. Listen, all right, I have been canceled like so many times, all right? The hate mobs, they come over, they spam dislikes on my videos. Like, it's happened to me so many times. And even though I've been the victim of multiple dislike spam campaigns, I mean, when we covered the story about H2O Delirious, there was this YouTuber that started up a live stream with like 20,000 viewers, and he was like telling people to go over and dislike my videos. Like, you can't even do that. That's against YouTube rules.
So, that's what he says. He says there's this YouTuber who started up a live stream, told people to go dislike the video, and he had like 20,000 viewers. Now, I don't know if you guys can see this, but right up here, this little guy has always been up here to protect me, to let me know how many people are in the live stream at every given point, okay? I will tell you for certain, you will not go find any one of my videos with over 9,000 viewers. There's probably like 8,000. And now, people at the end of the day might sit here and say, wait. 8,000, that's still a lot of people. You told 8,000 people to go dislike? No. What I did in a video, in a live stream, is I said, this video is trash, I'm going to dislike it. If you think it's trash, you should also sit here and dislike it as well. Did people maybe go dislike it because I said it? Yes. Was it right of me to do? No, because at the end of the day, you shouldn't be going to send people to do that. But is Keemstar hurt by it? No. Did Keemstar get hurt by it? No. Did actual people think that video's trash? Yes. Was that video trash? Yes. And would I still dislike it to this day? Hell yes, I would still dislike that video. I dislike this video right now. I think every Drama Alert video is a bit trashy after, you know, you have certain experiences with somebody. So, what I am trying to get at in all of this is that the 20,000 viewers I had was never a thing. I probably had like 2,000 to 3,000 viewers at most during that, which was like, it's like 10% of what he actually said. So I didn't have 20,000 viewers. I didn't just start up a live stream with 20,000 people in it. No, I have a hard time reaching 600 viewers sometimes, let alone 3,000, let alone 10,000, let alone 20,000. So that's just simply not true. And I don't know who else he would be talking about with someone with 20,000 viewers who would be going to send people to go dislike. And if you don't remember, when Keem started yelling at me and getting all mad and doing his rant, he mentioned it's against YouTube rules. You can't send people to go dislike my video, blah, 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 all this other stuff. So it's pretty clear he's talking about me here, and this is a clear reference. So since he wanted to reference and lie, and it's a very false thing he said, it's a dislike for me. If you guys don't want to dislike the video, you don't have to. But he just had one little piece of information wrong. I don't like that in my content creators. I like my content creators to be honest and don't make any mistakes at all. Wink, wink, that's just a joke. But the video is still trash, so I'm going to dislike it. If you want to dislike it, that is up to you. I don't care. Please do it based off your own opinion on the video. Don't just dislike it because someone is telling you to dislike it. But I believe the video is trash. Regardless. MGrizzly5 with the $5 super chat. I gotta go. I'll finish watching tomorrow. May I get a shout out to my boyfriend Jared? I got him hooked on watching you. Thank you for the stream. Yes, hello Jared. Hopefully you and your girlfriend are doing well. I give you guys my best wishes for you too. Yeah, shout out to you. Thanks for the $5 super chat. Regardless, we would like to move on. I just wanted to show you that little Keemstar bit. There's nothing else. Do you guys want to see, like, I don't know if he talks more. He talks like a little bit more about it, but it's not really worth it. We're not going to talk about it. We're going to jump into like what the main thing is. You guys are here to hear about what is Amy saying, Vixen Rex, Sarah, all these other names that they've called this person. This is the victim, the alleged victim of multiple different things. We know that she's a victim of harassment from Delirious because she was harassed. Her baby was threatened by Delirious from the Ray Harper account, which was Delirious. If you don't believe that's still Delirious, that's where we're going to differ in opinion. But she is a victim of harassment from Delirious from the Twitter email that I saw and the admission from them that yes, he had alt accounts and yes, he was banned for harassment. It is to be believed that this girl was harassed by Delirious. Now, having said that, LizKatz made a video, if you don't recall. The video has a lot of views, like 240,000 views as of today. 240,000 views on that video, and she completely, like, you know, doxes her Instagram, her Twitter. She's no longer anonymous, shows her face in the video, and then completely trashes on her. Maybe for good reason. Maybe there's some good points LizKatz was trying to bring up, but the point that was trying to be made is that she's not a credible or reliable when it comes to past events because she's known to lie or change things up, or her Twitter's not consistent with what her story is, and yada yada yada. That was the point Liz was doing. It didn't really seem like that. It seems like she was more character attacking this person and saying that she's young, she doesn't understand, and all this other information and stuff like that. I personally think that Liz went too far in making the video in general. She could have put everything about this chick in a twit longer, and it would have been better in my opinion. But regardless, I do think that it's a back and forth. I bet there's going to be things that this girl says, this victim, this Amy, Vixen Rex, Sarah, whatever you want to call her. I bet this girl will have something to say. I don't know if she'll take it too far like she did with that, like Liz did, but we'll have to just wait and see. I did not see any of this video. It is 27 minutes long, and this is why I'm saying we probably won't get through to anything else. This will be the final thing we cover. I have no idea what's in it. One thing I do want to mention, since it's in the title, Ohmwrecker did tweet this out, and that's what he's speaking up on. He's speaking up on this. I will show you guys this real quick. Direct link to it. I was just about to post about a new Dead by Daylight video, but please watch this instead. And it's doing the rounds that says listen, respect, and don't harass. And then there's the video, which we are currently on right now from the beginning. So I just want to say that going forward, people are saying she's not a victim, whatever. That's fine, but that's what the perceived thing. She's an alleged victim then at that point, okay? She's an alleged victim. Alleged means to be, possibly, could be proven false. Like she's not a victim or she is a victim. She's an alleged victim then. But regardless, I believe she is a victim of harassment because she is the girl that has the child that was threatened by the Ray Harper account, which I saw an email proving that that was delirious and one of the main reasons why he was suspended. So I believe she's a victim of harassment, but I don't know a victim of anything else. I don't know of their past. I don't know what they did in their past. It's honestly none of my business until proof or evidence comes out, and then I would talk about her. Call her accuser. An accuser, alleged victim, whatever you want to call it. We're talking about baby semantic little names for her, which don't really matter. So yeah, let's just move on and get to the beginning of this, and we will see what she has to say. Hopefully you guys can hear it all right.
Okay, so I really didn't want to have to do this. But I feel like since LizKatz doxed me and put out her video, I feel like I don't really have a choice because a lot of things were taken out of context, a lot of things were twisted, and I feel like I have to clear a lot of it up. So something I just want to make clear real quick is that
Okay. I'm not going to pause it all the time, but I probably will pause it all the time. It's me what we're talking about. But she doesn't, I don't think she has to say anything. It's the same thing. Just because LizKatz goes down to that level and does everything she did doesn't mean she has to. I can understand why people would want to, but at the very end of the day, you don't have to do anything. You could always stay silent and try to move on past this, but I get it. Her goal and everybody else's goal is to sit here and try to reveal the truth. So in a sense, making a video would be the best option.
I don't have an issue with Liz. I didn't want to bring her into any of this. I haven't tweeted at her prior to her doxing me. I have since, yes.
Obsidian says in the chat, alleged. No, if she knew what she was doing back then, she agreed to prank Delirious with Marcel. You're talking about the completely wrong girl, dude. You're on a whole different level. Yeah, I have no idea. Are you talking about Breland? Breland is the one that was involved in the prank thing, if I'm not mistaken. It's Breland, not Amy. Okay, do we really got to clear this up? You're talking about Breland. Obsidian, that's who you're talking. Involved in the prank with Marcel and stuff like that. That's Breland, not Amy. It's all right. People get confused. It's all right. Obsidian, take your L. You know, before you jump on anybody. That's Breland. All right. We good? We good? All right. Just want to say, let's clear that up real quick. Again, if I end up being wrong, this is super confusing. There's so many people, so many different names to go by. It's a lot of different stuff. But at the end of the day, you know, there was that situation and this situation and that situation. And again, until we see proof of this, we can't really narrow down what is true and what's not. We know the situation with Braylon and Delirious is real because Delirious admitted it, Marcel admitted it, and Ohm's the one that originally came out with the accusation. I think it was Ohmwrecker and Keemstar both. So yeah. But anyways, let me get back into the video.
Is that I don't have an issue with Liz. I didn't want to bring her into any of this. I haven't tweeted at her prior to her doxing me. I have since, yes. But before any of this, I didn't have a problem with her. I'm sorry that she felt the need to get involved when she's pregnant. I'm sorry that she feels the need to do her boyfriend's dirty work for him. But yeah, so I didn't have a problem with her. And I'm sorry that she felt the need to do this. So I actually reached out to Liz after she put up her tweet, naming me, and you know, everybody knew who I was then. I reached out to her on Instagram. Thought maybe we could talk.
Oh, so that's how she has her Instagram. So if you guys don't remember, LizKatz linked not only her Twitter, but just randomly threw in her Instagram too. If you guys remember that, where LizKatz threw in the Twitter account, and then this is her Instagram, and then it's a photo of her face and everything. That's probably how she has it, because she reached out to her on Instagram. That's interesting.
She didn't reply to me. She just blocked me on Instagram, blocked me on Twitter. I guess she was just pretty adamant that she was making this video, and that was that. So, yeah. So, something I want to bring up real quick.
So, all we know so far is that she saw the tweet or whatever that she was making this video and she's going to get involved. So, she reached out to her on Instagram, and Liz just blocked once. So that means if she blocked, she had a sense on who it was. She didn't just randomly block somebody or something like that. She probably saw the message, saw who it was, and blocked it. So Liz avoided communication with the person. Some people are going to say that's a good thing. She shouldn't communicate with a girl who's jumping at her boyfriend about all allegations, especially if she believes it's fake. She shouldn't be talking to this person. On the other hand, people are going to be like, you probably could have talked to her and stuff like that. You could have sat here and like had a conversation with the chick, and maybe that would make the video slightly different. I don't know. So again, in the chat, let me know. Do you think Liz should have responded to her on Instagram, or did Liz do the right thing on blocking her? Let me know in the live chat if you think she should have had a conversation, or should have done what she did, which is block her.
Is Liz doxed me. I was private. Nobody knew my real name. I was using an alias because I didn't want to be public. I hadn't been publicly tweeting on the situation. I was kind of sitting back waiting for everything to play out. Liz doxed me, but I find it a bit hypocritical because she was the very one, when Sai spoke up, who discredited her by saying she doxes people, she can't be trusted, she's this, she's that. That makes you a bit of a hypocrite, Liz, because you have done the exact same thing. And I find it a bit strange too that when Sai came forward, you instantly jumped on her, had all this proof ready to go, proof that she was a liar and she's mentally ill, all this kind of stuff. You attacked her character instantly. My video comes out. 5 months later, you decide to make a video on it. Why did it take so long? And what, like, all you seem to have, no proof, just old tweets of mine taken out of context.
Alright, stop it right here real quick. So what she's saying here is that, first off, Liz is a hypocrite because Liz and Delirious jumped at Sai for doxing and has jumped at other people for doxing and doing stuff before. And Liz came out and doxed people left and right like she just did in the video. again, this is what I was talking about by stooping down to their level. Liz, you know, was staying out of it. You know, you can think highly of her, but some people thinking I am late. What the hell is going on? We're talking about the Amy's video on Liz's video. But Liz, by jumping into this and doxing and doing everything she did just in the way she did, kind of brings her down to their level. And they're all sort of down here. They're all low people for what they're doing. They're all low. Okay, regardless. So, me, I just think that I don't know if I would go to the extent on calling her a hypocrite and stuff like that, because again, at the end of the day, people are going to argue maybe they deserve it, maybe they don't, maybe it's unjust to call someone a hypocrite if they, you know, if they have the right to do this, if they don't have the right to do this. At the end of the day, nobody really has to do anything, so everybody's a hypocrite for something, but they're all low. They all stoop down to this level. I think we can agree on that. Maybe some of us can. Maybe some of us can't. Maybe you guys are like Team Liz or Team Amy or Team Ohmwrecker or Team Delirious, and maybe you don't think that one's lower than the other or one is lower than the other. I personally think that they're all stooping down to the same level. They're all going to be coming out to the internet to sit here and say bad things about each other no matter what, and call each other hypocrites instead of just releasing information that people want to know. Because that's their goal. Their goal is to get the information that they want people to believe out, whether that's the truth or a lie or some made-up story or not or whatever. So I think hopefully we can all agree that we want the truth. We don't want you guys to stoop down to this level. And if there is anybody watching this, if it's Delirious, if it's Liz, if it's if it's Amy, if it's any other person with a story, any other victim out there, hopefully the information can come out, opinions and stuff like that can be on the side, and people can be like, okay, this happened, that happened, that happened, according to this person, and they're not really giving anything else. Some people want opinions roped in with the truth sometimes because it becomes more believable. I don't really need that. I don't think most people need that. I think we just want to know what happened. If you got proof, show the proof. If you don't, sorry, but we live in an age where proof is essential, especially if these stories are going to come out to the internet. It's kind of needed. And people stooping down to this level kind of shows that there might not be a lot of proof there, so they kind of have to stoop down to this level to really jump at somebody. But again, at the end of the day, these are small nitpicks, and it's nothing I'm calling anybody out for or anything. Dear Knuckles, $5 super chat. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. At TJV from Children Venom. I think that if there are no more replies from either parties, we should just leave it there and let them handle it legally if that's the case. We can't do nothing about it. Regardless if we talk about it or not, Chilled, we can't do nothing about it. It's them. It's their decisions. They click on our videos and reply. They go to Twitter and reply to this stuff. They make these videos. We have nothing to do with it. We can continue to talk about it for the next 6 years of our life. If they never say a word about it, nobody will watch our videos because the drama will be dead and we're going to be clout chasers at that point if we continue to talk about it. So it ain't really up to us to leave it. It ain't up to us to leave it. It's up to them to leave it. And if they leave it, we will be forced to talk about something else and not talk about the same drama over and over again. Or vice versa, they can release everything, all the proof, everything that they got, and the drama would be dead in the same amount of time. We would talk about it for a couple weeks and then it'd be over. But again, they can do one or the other. They can go silent or they can say everything. It's up to them. So one thing she said is that LizKatz is a hypocrite. I just believe they all low. I'm not going to use the word like hypocrite or insane or crazy or whatever. I'm just going to sit here and say they're all low. They're all stooping down to the same level. Another thing that she brought up right here. Hold on. Let me back it up just a little bit so we can replay it.
Attacked her character instantly. My video comes out. 5 months later, you decide to make a video on it. Why did it take so long?
So, I want to sit here and say this real quick about this part. Sheepy, hey Sheepy, $10 super chat. Drama, is there an alert going around? I like your little joke, Sheepy. Thank you for jumping in and donating $10. I really appreciate it, Sheepy. Hopefully you are doing well. Right here, she says 5 months. So her interview came out 5 months ago, and then LizKatz comes out with this video to talk about those two interviews, you know, Sarah, them in general, and then all this other stuff, blah, 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 blah. Why did it take so long? Well, first off, Liz has never made a video before, so she kind of has to recap on a lot of stuff, okay? So I don't really blame her for recapping on it. What I do blame her for is that it has nothing to do with her, and she doesn't have to recap on anything. If Delirious was in that video, it would be better, but Sheepy, I just said Sheepy. I looked at Sheepy's name and I said Sheepy by accident. But Liz has no say. She's a third party in all of this. Well, she does have a say, I guess, if she wants, but like it ain't needed. It's not a needed say. She doesn't have to be involved. She's a third party. Yeah, I accidentally said Sheepy. I looked at Sheepy's name and I said Sheepy. Wait, I can't say Sheepy in the sentence. That doesn't make any sense. Glad you're doing well, Sheepy. Yeah, Liz doesn't have to get involved. She's a third party. She doesn't have to get involved at all. But she did, so she recapped on all of it. That's one thing. Okay, cool. The thing, though, is that if you really think about it, don't get me involved, I won't, I promise. If you really think about it, and I want the chat to respond to me real quick and let me know if you believe this or not, and then we'll get back into the video. LizKatz. Was anybody really talking about the victims anymore, or these two girls anymore? Was anybody really talking about Sai and Sarah anymore? Didn't most people take Delirious's side and the side of the Vanoss crew back then? How many people are really challenging Delirious and Liz? Let me know. Do you really think anybody is really, like, believing in this and talking about this? So, like, what I'm getting at is that no one said anything for hardly months, and because the Twitter suspension happened, Liz found that as a good idea to bring up all this other stuff. Liz could have just came out and talked about the Twitter suspension, and that would have been so much better, in my opinion. But she brought up all this other stuff, so it's going to fuel more stuff to start. So the victims are going to have to come out here and tell their story and stuff like that. Or the alleged victims, my bad. And all this other stuff. So again, I don't think it makes it any better. I don't think it makes it any better for them to have to sit here and re-bring that stuff up. Especially if it was not brought up previously. But again, it's a free country. She can do what she wants. I just don't think it's a needed thing, in my opinion. It's just, I don't think so. Let's get back into the video, though.
And what, like, all you seem to have...
Real quick, before we jump in, everybody, put crowns in the chat for Sheepy, because that's the highest donation I got so far this stream, and I got to keep that tradition up. Whoever has the highest donation, you give them those crowns, because she is the queen of this stream for the highest donation. Make sure to do that.
No proof, just old tweets of mine taken out of context, which is something I really want to get into.
Yeah, I'm curious what she has to say about the tweets, because she's saying different ages, like 20 and stuff like that. She's saying a lot of different ages and stuff like that. So yeah, you want me to run that by me again, Trevor? Yeah, well, she is still the highest donation to the stream so far, so.
The main thing that I see people running with is saying that I was 20 in 2015.
Yeah, which they said multiple times. Okay, TC Mopars, $20 super chat, my crowns. Okay, well, give TC Mopars the crown now. He deserves the crown now. Switch over the crown from Sheepy to TC Mopars. Really appreciate it. Thank you, TC Mopars. All right, continuing on.
That is not true. Tags, which is something I really want to get into. But first of all, the main thing that I see people running with is saying that I was 20 in 2015.
Which she had multiple tweets insinuating that she was 20 or near the age of 21, talking about buying drinks and saying I feel like 20 or like something like that. We covered the tweets yesterday and all that.
That is not true.
So she's not 20. She says that is not true. Do we have proof of that? No. Could she be lying? Very well, yes, she could be lying. We'll see what she has to say after this. Again, I have no idea what she's going to say. I'm going along with this. I have no idea. Dylan, with becoming a member level 1 supporter, thank you very much for becoming a member. Hopefully you use the green name chat responsibly. Thank you for becoming a member. Thank you for becoming a level 1 supporter, Dylan. Really appreciate it. Ron, Richard, $10 super chat for Sheepy. Also, holy crap, I get to watch a live twice in 1 week. and one for TC Mopars. Yes, okay. So we got the king and the queen of the of the live stream. TC Mopars with highest super chat being the king, and then Sheepy with in second place. Well, Aaron, you kind of matched Sheepy's donation as well, so this is getting confusing. I just want to give a crown to the highest person. So right now TC Mopars is number one. But all of you guys are number one in my heart. Oh yeah, it's disgusting. Whatever.
Here's my ID. I'll put it up on the screen.
Oh, she showed an ID. That's her name. 60298. That would have made her 17 in 2015 it was like halfway through the year to November according to Liz. So she would have been 17 years old in 2015. In 2014 she would have been 16 years old. I mean, that looks like a legit ID. I mean, she blurred out what she needed to. There's her picture. That's her name, her full name actually. 22 years old now. Guys, I called it out yesterday. I said if she's making a video, post an ID, blur what you need to, but post your ID with a picture of you. It's so believable. Alright, round of applause, round of applause. She posted an ID, she proved her age. So whatever Liz said in the video about her being 20, it's complete crap. Is Liz wrong for saying that? Not exactly, because there is a lot of tweets that make it seem like she's 20. But again, to sit here and just automatically assume and go back and look up all of that to try to dig up something and see if she's older, that could make Liz look really bad too. Again, it's up to you guys. Okay, first off, before we continue, is there any non-believers that she was underage in 2014 and 2015? Is there any... Is somebody saying fake ID, are they? Oh my god, there's actually some non-believers. I thought we were all on the same page for a second. Photoshop? Damn it. We're fucked. There's people that are going to say fake ID, Photoshop, whatever. God, a big facepalm moment for all those idiots who are going to do that. That looks like a legit ID. Is anybody from Ireland or the United Kingdom or whatever, does that look like a legit ID or no? It is a legit ID. That is our provisional driver's license ID. And then I saw her face. Now I'm a believer. That is a legitimate ID. I believe, yeah, it's a legit ID. I believe it's a legit ID. Let me make this full screen for me so I can just look at it a little bit closer. Yeah. All right. Well, she blurred out what she needed to. She was 17 years old, born June 2nd. Yep, 17 years old. The laws about sending nudes, but legally being able to have sex with a 17-year-old are strange. Top Shot, $10 super chat. Thank you for keeping us updated. H2O, Ohm, Tunes, Bryce were a big part of my college entertainment. Whole situation is sad. More upsetting seeing sides taking place from fans instead of the truth. Yeah, thank you for the $10 super chat. I appreciate it. Again, what this just proves is that if they did have something going on, she was 17 when that happened. Liz made it very, very clear that after the Breland incident, Delirious made really hard, made it really, really hard that Delirious will always ask for the age. Always ask for the age. If she lied about her age, that's one thing. But she is 17 years old. This is a second time if they did do something, which Liz never brought up whether or not they did stuff. Maybe they did do stuff for a little bit and then they stopped. We don't know, but that's kind of what she is going at about all this. So again, her situation should be heavily looked into because there's an ID being shown. 17. It was right in the time span where she would have been 17, which is still classified as a minor. I know legally you can be an adult at 17 in some countries, in some places, but does that make it morally right? Just listen to your own morals. Would you want a 20-something-year-old man to be with a 17-year-old girl? A 30-year-old man to be with a 17-year-old girl? Would you be okay with that? Would you be okay watching his content and all that other stuff? Just keep that in mind when this comes up. We're not talking from a legal standpoint. I don't know legally how Ireland and Delirious living in North Carolina, how that's all going to line up. But regardless, 17 is not an adult in the UK. I'm not saying it is, but I'm saying in other places, you know, there very well could be something. Internationally, what is the age of consent for these types of problems, TJV? I have no idea. That's the thing, and I'm not going to get into it legally. If there's something legally that needs to be brought up, that'll happen behind the scenes. That's not my job, any of our jobs. We can look it up and do research very well, but I'm saying from a moral standpoint, it's kind of disgusting if she was 17, and we don't know if Delirious has knowledge of this or if she lied about her age or any of that stuff. She'll probably talk about it in this video, and we'll get her side of things more. Gabriel Elmore, $20 super chat. Well, even if she was 17 or under, H2O did not even know until we didn't even know till we some sort of video like she or he said before, like what H2O said before this happened, before me Bretta, and also me Banana me Bretta. I don't know what you're saying there. Even if she is a 17, like I said, if Delirious didn't know, that is one thing. That's one thing to bring up. Like Delirious claims he didn't know Breland's age when Marcel pranked him with Breland or whatever. He didn't know she was 17 or however old she was. He might have not known how old she was, but this is proof that she was 17 in 2015. So yeah, that's something to bring out. Would the current Dovakin son, Dovakin, thank you for being a member, would the current me be okay with that? Absolutely not. However, if I was born and raised in an area where it was like that, chances are I'd probably be okay with it. Yeah, I grew up in a spot where it was okay for a 17-year-old to date a 30-year-old. I grew up in a town where that was okay. I don't like it. I don't like it to this day. I had to grow out of that. I had to grow, and, you know, when I was a young kid, I kind of grew and found out what my morals were and stuff like that, and as I became an adult, I realized that ain't okay. At 18, I can't control my child. If I had a child, I couldn't control them. But if they're 17, I do have some semi-control where I'm saying you're not going to be dating some 30-year-old, or you're not going to be doing this on your phone with some older person that you don't even know. That's disgusting. But at the same time, when I see it happen to other people, all I can say is I have my own opinion about it, and I can do what I want to do to avoid that, and I don't usually hang out, talk, or communicate with those who want to be involved in that. Now, I kind of have to, because I talk about this drama online, and I have to talk, but that doesn't make it like I want to be buddy-buddy with somebody or anything like that. Like, if I had one of my best friends do some disgusting shit like this, I wouldn't be their friend anymore. I'd walk away. Rebel, so TJV, here's another member puts in the chat. So TJV, what I have learned about being a man, if you are an adult, and if a girl is at least 5 years max older than you, it is appropriate. But a girl more than 5 years younger is not okay. I don't think it's okay in any sense. I don't think it's okay in any sense. I don't think it's okay either way. I don't care if you're a girl, a guy. I don't care if the guy's older. I don't care if the girl's older. I don't think it's okay in any sense. Red Rack member for 6 months, level 1 supporter. Thank you for becoming a level 1 supporter and being a level 1 supporter for 6 months. Hopefully you continue to use the green name in the chat responsibly. Thank you for being a level 1 supporter and a member for this much amount of time. I really appreciate it. Alright, let's move on.
1998, which means I'm 23 right now.
23 right now.
I actually tweeted in 2014, I'll also put that tweet on screen, saying, just sitting around being 16.
Yeah, that's
so
one of the
it was out there.
That was one of the tweets Liz didn't do, and if Liz did that much research to pull all those other tweets, she probably would have found that tweet, but Liz never put that tweet in her video.
You know, I didn't try and hide my age or lie about my age. My age was there public on my Twitter. I didn't make out like I was a different age. But the tweet that Liz chose to take was one about me joking about being 20. And that's something I really want to explain, because I mean, I get, like, if that's the only tweet people are seeing, of course they're going to believe it and take it and run with it.
It was a reply to a friend about an inside joke.
The tweet that Liz posted says, I'm basically like 20 now, or I'm like 20 and I'm sitting, you know, eating cereal or whatever. Have people never heard of an inside joke? Because that's all that was.
Logan, $5 super chat at TJV. No, this is off topic, but Keemstar mentioned you in the new Drama Alert video. Yes, I covered that in the very beginning of the stream. Already, he sat here and said I had like 20,000 viewers in a live stream or whatever. I've never had more than 8,000 people in a single live stream before. Maybe 9,000 I got close to. I've never had more than that, though. And the video that I did talk about where I said this video's trash and I'm going to dislike his video, that original video, I don't remember specifically saying people should go dislike this. I said if you don't like the video and you think it's trash like I do, I would recommend disliking it. But he's going to take that as if I sent a hate mob his way. And that video, that live stream I was in, probably only had 2,000 to 3,000 people in it. So he kind of blew it out of proportion. And he's saying it's against YouTube rules and all this other shit. Since then, I haven't done it. It isn't a constant thing. If I made a mistake back then and I did send people, that's my fault, and I know that. But I know at the end of the day, Keemstar, it didn't really affect him nonetheless. Most of the dislikes he gets on those videos is because he's dumb as fuck when he talks about it. That's why. He's really, really dumb. But Keemstar doesn't want to add the context. Liz doesn't want to add the context. And look at where we're at. And that's kind of what she's bringing up here. She does sit here and say it was an inside joke. And people don't get that inside jokes are a thing. Yeah, but there's a lot of tweets about you acting like an adult and talking about being with older men and acting like you're 20. It would be fair for somebody to look at all those tweets and be like, yeah, this girl probably lies about her age and says that she's older, or maybe she is older and stuff like that. So having said that, I think that it's important to not completely just go at Liz and say Liz intentionally do it, because Liz could have just looked at her tweets and said, yeah, she looks like she's 20. That's why I'm going to highlight my video. But if she didn't see that 16, I believe she would have seen, oh, just sitting here being 16 or whatever. I'm sure she probably saw that. But now that she provides an ID, that's something that hopefully Liz would retract and say, okay, I know now you're 17. And if you know Delirious and her did stuff in mid-2017 or 2015, you know that she was under the age of 18. She was 17 years old when that stuff happened. Slasher Gas for $5 super chat. Well, I don't want to victim blame, but she shouldn't lie about her age several times and then, oh wait, inside joke. No, I agree. I agree completely. I don't blame Liz for sitting here believing that she is older than what she said she was, because she has a lot of public tweets saying otherwise. So again, I think this is at the fault of both sides. Both sides were wrong at some aspect, but at the very end of the day, what are we trying to get accomplished? We're trying to figure out, is this girl underage and did Delirious do stuff with her? It's to believe that Delirious did stuff with her, and there wasn't much talk if they did anything or not. Liz just probably, it kind of seemed like Liz just thought everyone assumed they did stuff together, but she's 20 years old, it's fine. And Delirious asked about the age. He always asked about the age. Besides that one time he didn't, which was the very first time, with Breland and Marcel pranking him or whatever. Well, she's 17, so I don't know. I don't think Liz's credibility in that video doesn't seem as big. I mean, she did bring a lot of receipts, but those receipts don't line up. There's more of a story behind those receipts, so yeah, it's kind of getting all over the place here.
A joke that me and my friends had, I'm not sure if you have heard, if you ever turned around to someone younger than you and been like, what are you, like 12? When they clearly aren't 12, it's just they're younger than you.
Yeah, but there's a huge excessive amount of tweets that kind of make you seem older. Again, if you were young, you were dumb at the time, you were 17 at the time, you know, maybe nowadays you wouldn't joke. Maybe you still joke about it. I don't know. I mean, at the end of the day, it's just tweets. We have an ID. We could just forget about all the tweets, because the tweets don't mean shit anymore. We have an ID. Can we all agree on that? The tweets don't matter anymore. They'll continue to keep talking about the tweets. They're going to argue about this little thing about, oh, you said you were 20 though, and go back and forth on that. At the end of the day, we have the ID, and we have an idea of what they did together. Can we just move on from the tweets? Can we all agree on that the tweets are irrelevant now, since now we have an ID? Can we agree on that? I bet some people in the chat are going to be like, nah, we can't agree on that. We can't agree on anything. And if that's the case, that's the case.
that was kind of the same thing that we had going there. We were teenagers, and Joe would be like, oh, I'm basically like 20 now, like I can do whatever. Joe, it was a joke. We weren't literally saying like I am 20, hence why in the tweets it says I'm like 20 or I'm basically 20, not I am 20. So that's the main thing I wanted to just clear up. I was not 20 back then. Liz has just taken tweets out of context.
Alright, real quick, for anyone in the chat who wants to sit here and say the IDs can be faked, and the IDs can be photoshopped, and the IDs can be this, you grab the IDs, you show me where they can be faked, where they're photoshopped, where there's errors, where there's everything in the IDs. You show me that. Send it to me on Discord, and I will completely agree with you. Until then, the ID looks real, and she's 17 years old in 2015 when Delirious did that stuff. Now, if you want to sit here and say the IDs are fake or it's a fake ID, you show me where there can be a fake ID on there. And if you can't visually see it, then we're literally talking, oh, this woman did everything she can. She showed an ID to the internet. How much more can she do to prove that? Again, there could be something like a fake ID. There could be something like a Photoshop. But until it's proven that that's a fake ID or a Photoshop, I'm not going to jump on it and say that's a fake ID, that's a Photoshop. It looks like a real ID. You want my ID, TJV? I want people to show me how that's a fake ID. The video is public. Go screenshot it. Go analyze it. Go take it into Photoshop and show me. Actually, grab a blank ID and make it look as good as that. And then show me that you can fake an ID through Photoshop. I'm sure some really great artists can make it look like it and fool the naked eye, but that looked like a real ID. Cole Bizzle, $5 super chat. That's like if I went to a 21 over club and took home an underage girl. Guys, they think of age, but when you lie and say, yeah, I'm 18, we gonna try. Alright, thank you for the $5 super chat. I'm just reading all these things about the IDs. Again, like I said, if somebody wants to sit here, and that's my mom who was walking by. So if you want to say hi, Mama TJV in the chat, you can. I'll show her later. But later on, if you want to be able to sit here and show me through Discord, send me a message on my Discord. The only way you can send me anyone can send me a message in my Discord if you're in my Discord server. So join my Discord server if you're not. Send me proof that that is a fake ID. Take it into a software. Show me where there's artifacts or something like that. Again, there's blurred things out and it looks like a legit ID. It's a high-res photo that was put on the screen for it. It looks fine. So I'm not going to assume it's a fake ID. I'm going to assume it's a real ID. And take her word on it, just like how I would take Liz's word on it that, hey, yeah, she seems 20 based off the tweets. She kind of disproved that in this video.
And speaking of tweets out of context, there is a lot of tweets that were taken out of context in that video. One of which, I will hold my hands up, it does make me look very, very bad. That tweet being... one I tweeted saying, enough dirt on you to murder you.
Oh, and I can ruin your career and stuff like that. Yeah, that made her look incredibly bad.
That tweet was not aimed at anybody in particular at all. It was not a subtweet. It was not, no one's name was mentioned in that tweet. It was literally just a song lyric, an Eminem song lyric. I didn't realize that it was a crime to tweet song lyrics. It is not relevant to anything.
I have enough dirt on you to murder you? Is that a Eminem song? I have no idea. Let me look this up real quick. I have enough dirt on you to murder you or something? I have enough dirt to murder you. Warning shots by Eminem. Huh. Is that what it is? The warning, Mariah Carey diss. Oh. Enough dirt on you to murder you. Yup. Where is that? Yup, right here. I found it. Enough dirt on you to murder you. That is an Eminem. That is true. Lines up. Sen. Mr. Sen goes, Trevor, Gene, Valentine. What are you getting at, Sen? What's up, Sen? Elaine says TJV got hate for saying Liz side and would be interesting to look into body language, but it's fine to overanalyze Amy. Just look around as she talks. I mean, if you want to analyze her body language too, and every breath she takes and every word she says, send it over to someone who's went to school to analyze that shit and see what their results are. But it is funny how I got so much hate for saying that someone sighed, and it was kind of weird. I wasn't even saying that the problem was with her was that she sighed. It's the fact that she kept that in the video. She kept that sigh, that she kept that right in the beginning of the video, and I'm like, Liz, what are you doing? You could have just started the video with saying, hello, I'm LizKatz, but at the end of the day, it's whatever. It's whatever. That's my new nickname for you, Gene. Makes it sound powerful. Yeah, that's my middle name, Gene. I like Jean Grey, or the jeans you wear. Dramatic effect? Yeah, maybe Liz put it in there for dramatic effect. I don't know, but I got so much hate for that. She is pregnant, though. She's pregnant, though.
It was not a threat to anybody. Also,
I thought you knew, Sen, that my middle name was Gene. Maybe you didn't, huh?
Liz seems to think that because I was bar hopping back then, that must mean that I was 20 or however old. No. Again,
I even worked at a pub where I was 16 years old, and it wasn't an issue because I live in such a small, laid-back area. Okay, I can't defend or argue on her behalf on that because I'm not from Ireland. I'm not from where she grew up and where she lived. But I can say that small towns and stuff like that, they don't really care if you're out of the bar and you're underage. You don't get ID'd at the door. I live in a bigger town, a small city now, of like the Cedar Valley area in Iowa. They do ID a lot more here than they do in my hometown, and they even allow 16-year-olds to work behind the bar and work with alcohol. Smaller areas do that. So, again, not trying to argue on her behalf, but from my personal experiences, that seems believable. Cactus does $2 super chat. Sigh, I'm not about that. I'm pregnant. I'm not about that. I'm pregnant. Wait until the she's pregnant, leave her alone bridge. Find out Amy is pregnant too. Right?
taken out of context. I live in Ireland.
Over in the UK, it is legal to drink at 16. Might be the case and stuff like that. It's just, for me personally, I'm just speaking on being allowed into a bar and working at a bar. That's all I was talking about. I'm not talking about drinking and stuff like that. And to be honest, people here in the US, people here in Iowa specifically, we all drink under the age of 18. Even though it's illegal, even though we know we can get caught, I drank when I was under the age. I started drinking at 14 years old. 14 years old. 14 years old. That's the way. 14 years old I started drinking. So, again, people drink underage all the time. They go out to the bars. You know, at one point, I had a fake ID when I was I think I was 16, 17 when I had a fake ID. It's something people do. People go out bar hopping and stuff like that. It's very plausible she could have a fake ID. I don't think that ID looks fake. It doesn't look fake from anything. But, again, it is what it is. Everybody does it. Sorry, but everybody does it. There is quite a bit of people who don't, but everybody does it.
I'm not sure if people that live outside of Ireland are familiar. We drink over here
The tweets about me being friends with older men were literally on about the regulars that would come in every day. Well, yeah, if she was working in a bar, in a pub, and she was going out to these bars a lot, she would be seeing older men. There would be a lot older men than her. And if she was 16 at the time, or 17 at the time, she's probably running into people 10 years older than her that don't look that older. Because you can find a 27-year-old that doesn't look 27. You can find a 24, 25-year-old that doesn't look like they're 24 or 25. You can find older people that don't look like they're so much older, but you can become good friends with them, and it's not as creepy. It isn't like she's going up to old men, like sexy 70-year-olds, and being friends with them. It makes sense. I know girls, teenagers that I used to go to school with. Me and this other girl hung out for a little bit. She was a junior, I was a junior, and she was going out getting picked up from this guy that was like 28 years old. But he didn't look 28. They were friends. They were probably sleeping together. It was none of my business, but I was friends with her, and I stopped hanging out with her the moment I realized you like to hang out with older men, and I'm, same age people don't really matter to you. You favor the older guys who have cars and homes and money, and I'm just some kid in high school that you don't care about. Girls sometimes do that. They would prefer older men. Sometimes they have more stuff. Sometimes they're just better friends. Sometimes they're more mature. Whatever the case may be. I can see what she's trying to say here. But again, this is looking super deep into it. I'm just trying to have my thought process go for it. Sorry if I'm looking too deep into it. You can yell at me that I'm not about that in the chat if you're mad at me. If you're not about me, say that I am about that then. Slasher Gasher, $10 super chat. Now, I don't want to be rude, but I would wish you would cover other things on commentary than just the Vanos gaming crew drama. I would like to see your takes on other things. I would love to do other things. It's just, would there be the same amount of people who would show up? Would I be able to gather the same amount of revenue? Because at the very end of the day, this is my job, and I want to be able to sit here and cover things without stretching and going too far on some things. If there's new information, I'll cover it. If there's no new information, I will try to come up with something else to do that I believe that will get the views and get me the financial income I can to support myself. Because at the end of the day, I want this as a full-time job so I can be on here more and spend more time doing this and talking to people and growing my brand and doing all that stuff. So at the very end of the day, I would like to do more commentary stuff on other things. It's just I've tried that before. I've tried covering like Jake Paul and Logan Paul incidents. Nobody really cares. I covered DDP445. Some videos of mine blew up. Some of them didn't. But whenever I cover the Vanos crew or the Meat Lad or whatever drama going on, it's like a surefire, no matter what, I will get the views and stuff like that. So it isn't like it's all view driven. Sometimes I feel like I need to keep talking about it to complete what I was saying in my previous live stream and cover the rest in another live stream. But yes, at the end of the day, I am doing this for money. I'm being honest with you guys. I'm not trying to lie to you guys. I don't want to sit here and do anything. I want to be honest with y'all. Yes, I am doing this for money. I'm doing it for financial income, for my own financial life. But hopefully you guys appreciate that honesty, that I wouldn't lie to you guys and say, I'm doing this for you guys. I'm doing it for my fans. I'm doing it for the truth. I'm doing it for a higher meaning. No, I'm not. It's for a financial income. So hopefully y'all can find respect and that I'm being honest with you there. At TJV, that's a crime. Yeah, sorry. Sorry, it's a crime. TJV doing a great job covering the situation for what it matters. Yeah, exactly. Thank you very much, Blaze. Thank you for being a member too. So many members up in the chat today. I really do appreciate it. Sometimes I don't see a lot of members up in the chat sometimes, but a lot of people are busy. Bloodshot Entertainment, that's another one. Nope, cancel TJV. Thank you for being a member as well. I really appreciate all the members that are here. Really do appreciate it. Let's continue.
A lot. And
Amy has been in this chat from her own account. She isn't Lily. Oh, okay. Amy must have been here before. This must be her account, Amy Hughes.
we can start drinking when we're young, and we can go into pubs when we're young, and we will get served. The people who work in the pubs, especially in small areas like where I live, they know.
Old men in their 60s and 70s. Again, Liz took this out of context and made it seem like I was obsessed with older guys. Oh, maybe there was older guys in their 60s and 70s she got along with. I thought she was just talking about like someone that was 10 years older than her. Again, this was just my thought process. Usually girls are hanging out with guys that are just like 10 years older or less, but maybe she was.
Know you're underage, they will still serve you. Like, it's not a big deal to drink around here when you were young.
Taver491, TJV, you have an opinion, you're no longer clarified / neutral. That's what I classify as, though.
So, again, that doesn't prove anything. Yes, I was underage drinking. Also,
we all have, it's whatever.
the groupie thing.
Yeah, the groupie thing, what's that?
Seeing as this whole situation is about me being underage at the time and being a teenage girl, I think these tweets prove that I was, you know, a teenager, acting like a teenager, doing teenager things.
She's probably going to sit here and say it was something dumb that she did. We'll get that into a second. Universe 6 hit with $10 super chat. TJV, why are you so submissive and breedable, though? Breedable, bro. I don't know what that means. I mean, I know what it means. It's just I don't know what you're trying to get at with that. So, I'm just gonna keep stroking my beard and ignore that question. Thanks for the $10 super chat, though. What the fuck?
I was a teenage girl who fangirled over boy bands. I wasn't a groupie. I would, yes, those tweets are very embarrassing. I would tweet at celebrities. You know, I would go to a lot of concerts. I still do go to a lot of concerts. I tend to get meet and greets. Like, I'm not a groupie. I just enjoy music and meeting my favorite musicians and stuff. Again, embarrassing, yes. Incriminating or anything, no.
Irvin Solis, $5 super chat. I think universe is trying to hit on you. Maybe. I have no idea. Sorry, I got a girlfriend. I just tweeted the first photo of me and my girlfriend, you know, on my Twitter. So if you're curious what that looks like, go look at my Twitter.
I would partake in like games that fandoms were doing, like, oh, could you make it like, Joe, could you be a groupie, and like who I'd ship you with, and that doesn't mean I was a groupie. It means I was a teenage girl, like, you know, doing teenage girl things.
So a kid being dumb.
And I think other tweets that she put out was about me lying about school. She claimed that I lied in my Ohmwrecker interview because I mentioned school. That is not the case. I think Liz has gotten a bit confused here. She thinks that because she's seen a few old tweets of mine that she suddenly knows everything about my life. Because I tweeted saying that I'm so glad I'm not in school anymore. Stuff like this, like I'm happy I dropped.
Yeah, I'm curious about that because that really made her seem like she was 20. So, like, she said she was 20, she was buying alcohol, and I was like, okay, she might be 20, 21, somewhere near there. And she's also saying that she's out of school, and she's been out of school, and she really needs to go back for like, a basic education and stuff like that. So that really made her seem like she was older than the age of 18. She must have graduated at the age of 18. And I had a lot of people in here that are from the UK and stuff like that sit here let me know, like, yeah, hey, we graduate, you know, at 18 and stuff like that, and this month or whatever. We were really analyzing it, so I'm curious what she's going to say here.
Out of school. Yes, I did drop out of school when I was 15 going on 16. So there was a period of time where I wasn't in school. I was working instead.
Okay, we'll rewind that, but okay, we'll get into that in a second. Universe 6 hit, $10 super chat. My friend told me you won't say that, no balls. So sorry about that, Lamau. No, that's fine, it's whatever. You created a good laugh for everybody, so that's cool. Okay, so she said she had to drop out of school to work, and stuff like that. We might just have to know more about her life than intended because of tweets. Again, at the end of the day, the tweets don't matter. She showed her ID. We know that she was 17. We know she was 17, so we don't have to focus on the tweets. But she's probably she probably has a statement and a response to every single tweet that Liz was trying to bring up to make her look bad or make her look older or whatever. So I don't mind them. Maybe you guys appreciate it more than I do. I don't really care about all these responses to these tweets. If you show your ID, I'm just going to believe when you were younger, you were dumb tweeting out stuff and you didn't know what you were tweeting. You were just being a child is all you were being. So I don't really care about all these responses, but maybe you guys appreciate them. I don't know.
She thinks that because she's seen a few old tweets of mine that she suddenly knows everything about my life. Because I tweeted saying that I'm so glad I'm not in school anymore. Stuff like this, like I'm happy I dropped out of school. Yes, I did drop out of school when I was 15 going on 16.
So she dropped out of school 15 going on 16. She was 16 in 2014. Well, she was 15/16 in 2014. Because she turned 16 June 2nd of 2015. She would have been 16 years old. 2015 in June 2015, she turned 17. So in the year of 2014, she would have been between the ages of 15 and 16 years old. Just to clear that up. I would have to look back on those tweets to see if those tweets line up with what she's saying. I'm sure it does, though. I need to go back to school tweets, whatever, in 2015, 14, whatever. I'm sure they line up. But she said 15 going on 16, she dropped out of school. So if she tweeted about those things in 2014, that would line up. She tweeted about those things in 2015, it would still line up because she would still be 16 going on 17. But she's also said 2015 going on, or 15 going on 16. So at the age of 15 and 16, Bell, she was out of school. She might have gone back into school at some point. I don't know. We'll have to keep watching. Cole Bizzle 2000 chat. If you lie about your age, it should be case closed. Not really, because that doesn't make the person who did it right. Just because she might have lied about her age doesn't make it right for Delirious to still do that. That is still at the fault of Delirious. That's just like if I sat here and I got told this girl was 19, but she was really 14, and I did weird shit or whatever. Does that make me innocent because she lied? No, it doesn't. It means that I should have been more careful, and I should have gotten an ID privately from her to prove her age so I can be safe. And I should save those receipts just in case she comes back and say, oh, I used a fake ID, I lied, just to get you in trouble. That would definitely make her seem troublesome because she lied about her age and she gave me a fake ID when I thought I was all safe doing that. So again, like I said, she might have been, like people are saying, TJV, you're right, but it's still misleading. Yeah, she could have been misleading Delirious. I completely understand that. But Delirious is still at fault for doing that. So don't think that it's, let's all blame her and Delirious is in the clear. No, I don't think it should be like that. Again, at the end of the day, you can do what you want to do. But at the end of the day, I don't think that one side is 100% at fault. I think both sides are at fault for what they did, 100%. Show Venom. Okay, if we are starting conspiracies, I think TJV is Ohmwrecker. Little do you know, I play Dead by Daylight all the time. No, let's not joke about that.
So there was a period of time where I wasn't in school. I was working instead. But I later returned to school and finished my education.
Okay, so she, between 15 going on 16, she dropped out of school, but then she returned to finish her education.
So, again, I didn't lie. I did drop out of school, and then I went back to school.
It's a very common thing here in the States. People do it all the time. They'll drop out of school. It's not as common, maybe not as common as there. Maybe it wasn't a common situation. Maybe it was a really rare situation and she was involved in that. But I do see people dropping out of school their sophomore, junior year. They won't finish school until they're about 18, 19. Then they'll go back into school and finish up what they need to. They won't probably go to a public school. Usually you can do a test or something like that and get enough credits to be able to do it. They have this like GED course you can take here in the States or here in Iowa. But I don't know. I don't know if it's not a common thing there. I know people here will drop out of school to prefer to work and start their life early, and they don't feel like they need an education because they're never going to get a job that needs an education. So again, I don't know how common it would be anywhere else, but I know of the scenarios and what those situations would be.
So thinking that people, like, taking a tweet and thinking that you know everything about somebody, it doesn't work like that.
Which in the video, she did talk like she knew a lot about the chick, but again, at the end of the day, that's like minor nitpicks. It's whatever. You showed your ID. Tweets don't really fucking matter.
Another thing that Liz is very adamant about is that her boyfriend, who's Delirious, definitely asks every girl their age before he starts talking to them. Because he asked her age when they started talking in, I think, 2019, the DM was from. Just because he asked her age in 2019 doesn't mean back then in, like, 2015, and whenever he was talking to the other girls, it doesn't mean that he asked ages back then. I'm not saying he didn't ask other girls. I don't know their full stories. He didn't ask me my age.
When he first started messaging me, he did not message... Okay, according to her, she never got the question, how old are you?
And I find it very, very convenient that...
We talked about our lives, things relevant to my age, during the months we were talking frequently. She would have been 17 at this time. It would have been June 2015. She would have turned 17 in June 2nd. So if they did start talking in June, she was definitely 17. And she claims that there's no question Delirious asked about her age. They talked about our lives, things relevant to my age during the months we were talking frequently, which would have been June to like maybe August, September. I know they stopped talking around November is what I think was perceived, but they could have talked longer. I don't know. I wonder if she'll show receipts for this or not. Her birthday is February. I thought it was June 2nd. Was it February 6th? Or was it... Because it was 026. I thought it was vice versa, 602. I don't know how those IDs work. Is it February 6th her birthday or June 2nd her birthday? Maybe I got that wrong. I think it's February 6th. I should go back to the ID, should I? I should go back to the ID. It's February? I thought it was June 2nd. Maybe I was wrong. February 6th? All right. My bad. That's my bad on that part. I will re-look at this ID right here. Yeah, right here. It says 060298. I thought that was talking June 2nd. Maybe it was the other way around. 602, 6th of February. Okay, maybe that's the case. Maybe that's the case. Date in UK, Ireland, we use day, month, year. Okay, my bad on that. Let me look at my ID real quick. Where's my ID at? It's probably in my jacket. Let me grab it real quick. Oh, my wallet's back here probably. Because again, I'm just trying to figure out if that's why I got it wrong. Yeah, it's month, day, year on my ID. Month, day, year. So if it's day, month, year, then it would have been 6 February. Yeah, the 6th of February. Gotcha. My bad. Other way around in the UK. My bad. Okay. So, she still would have been 17. She still would have been 17 at that time. So that doesn't really change anything. It just pushes her birthday back from June to February. So that doesn't really change anything at all. Doesn't really change much at all. So glad that wasn't a big mistake. If that was a big mistake and I had to like reword everything I said before, that would have been bad. But no, it just moves back from June to then. So that would have been 4 months it got pushed back. So instead of her birthday being in June, it's in February. So she still would have been 17. That's interesting. Thank you guys so much. This is why I love live streaming and talking to you guys, because you guys can help correct me on this shit so I don't get it wrong. Imagine if I made a full video, published it, and I got that thing wrong. It wouldn't have been a big mistake. It would have been like a 4-month difference. But yeah, thank you guys for confirming that. I really appreciate it.
DMs just happened to be gone because... if he asked my age and the DMs were there, you could easily prove it. But no, of course, they just happened to be vanished.
Yeah, they really never did take any screenshots or anything. There was never any proof. There was never nothing. But again, I don't know why their DMs would have been gone. I don't know much about that.
So, there's a lot I want to talk about, but I also just want to kind of keep to the point here. My past with Delirious. This is what this whole situation is about. And if you want to hear all the little tiny details and nitty-gritty, my interview was on Ohmwrecker's channel. Liz claims that I was the one to initiate contact with Delirious. Which, yes, is true to a degree. I was a fan of his. I said all this in my own interview. I got his merch. And I took a photo in his merch and would tweet at him and reply to his tweets and stuff. I did not initiate the contact in DMs. His DMs were closed at the time. He had to follow people back to be able to have a DM conversation. I wouldn't be able to just DM him at that time. I'm not sure now when he had his Twitter what the situation was. But at that time, I could not just go into his page and DM him. He followed me back after I tweeted at him one day. And he reached out to me in DMs. And he was the one to initiate the whole sexual contact side of things. He was the one asking for Skype sex. He was the one asking for nudes. Again, Liz cannot prove any of this. I, however, can. And people are going to be like, oh, show your evidence, show your evidence. I've said it a million times now. My evidence is with the authorities. It's not for Twitter to see. Twitter.
Okay, so that's what I was about to get at. It was like, okay, she's now making the heavy allegations that were posted before. They're in the Ohmwrecker interview. We've saw it before. If you haven't, you haven't. Won't be able to show the evidence because it's with the authorities. Don't know how much more she can show to make anybody else believe, and I'm just saying this on behalf of a bigger, wide scope audience. When are they going to be able to believe this? Are they not going to be able to believe this? What? People aren't going to be able to believe any of the allegations if there isn't proof. Sorry, but you were able to prove your age. You were able to talk about those tweets and have an explanation. Some people might be able to sit here and believe you. The heavy allegations were back to square one when Ohmwrecker posted them. Where's the proof? Where's the evidence? Yada, 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 all that other stuff. Not trying to beat a dead horse and constantly say it, but nowadays, it'd be best to show the evidence if that is possible. But if it's able to come out at some point, that would be preferable. It's been a while. If you gave that to the authorities months ago, it's not really a lot going on, especially if it's good proof and it really shows that he did this stuff. Some proof would have been fine. But again, we're back to square one. So let's just watch, and hopefully there's some new evidence or new proof or new anything that she is willing to show.
Or not the police. And these are serious allegations of child pornography. So, yeah, that's how things happened with Delirious. Like I said, if you want to hear more on that, like my interviews, I'm not going to go into it all again now. So when this whole thing started this year with these allegations coming out, I put out a subtweet. This was before my own interview, before anybody knew that I was Sarah, before anyone knew that Sarah existed. I had seen the Keemstar stuff, and I tweeted saying, just because your girlfriend's pregnant now doesn't mean you're a nonce, because I had seen Delirious. He's such a family man, you know, like, how could he ever do anything bad when he has a kid? So I subtweeted.
I understand if she's irritated by that, because I'm also irritated at that. I'm irritated when people sit here and say Delirious is a family man. He can't be doing bad things. He could have never done any bad things. He has a child. Anyone who has a child, they're innocent of everything. Why would you assume a dad could do that? I'm also kind of annoyed of that. I'm sorry, but if that makes you upset, whatever, but it's not an excuse. You can't use that you have a family and a baby and you're a father and you're hardworking and all. So what, dude? There's people out there that you never thought. Nobody ever thought Ted Bundy was, the murderer. He was a good-looking young guy who could get any girl. Why would he sit here and harm girls the way he did? Well, yeah, guess what? People are sometimes fucked up in the head, okay? So, sorry, but you can't be using excuses like that. I'm also tired of it, but that's just, again, my opinion. Other people might sit here and bite into it, so.
And almost instantly, bearing in mind, I didn't have many followers on Twitter at the time. Nobody knew who I was. I hadn't publicly named Delirious Liz, anything like that. I put up this tweet and almost instantly start getting threats from a private account. I got a message request. This was the Ray Harpy account. It was Ray Harpy at the time.
And this is going to be the Ray Harpy, Ray Harpy, whatever, Survey Junkie now, whatever account name it was going by at the time or is currently going by or whatever it did before it was suspended. This is the account that threatened the baby. Threatened this girl's baby. And yeah, it's Delirious. I saw an email, and I will re-explain it for anyone who hasn't heard this before, but Ohmwrecker sat here and hit me up about the Twitter suspension thing. Or I hit him up for the Twitter suspension, being like, okay, his account was suspended. Do you know why? He goes, yes, I do. And he was willing to show me proof privately and say that I can't say anything about it. I can't show it. And I said, nope. If you're going to show me proof and I can't say or show it or anything, I don't want to see it. And it got to the point where I sat here in a live stream and I said, hey, if Ohm showed me something, would you guys believe me? Like, if he said, hey, I cannot show it, I can't do none of that, but you can see it and then you can talk about it all you want. You can say anything in there that you saw, but don't mention certain aspects that's going to reveal the privacy of those who work at Twitter working on this situation, because he was working with the trust and safety team. And please, guys in chat, just hear me out on this story real quick, and then you can criticize me or whatever if you still don't believe me or whatever. Just hear this out. So I hit up Ohm. Most of my audience, I took a poll. 50-something% said yes, they would believe me. 30-something% said maybe. I would have to hear what you have to say. And then like 8% said no, I would not believe you. Sorry, I need to see the proof. So I thought, okay, I feel pretty confident. I can go see the proof. I will speak on it like I'm a journalist. I look at the evidence without showing anything, and I'll report it like it's the news. And, you know, if people buy it, they buy it. If they don't, they don't. We'll have to wait and see. So I ended up sitting here and hitting up Ohm. We jumped in a call. He asked how I was doing. I asked how he was doing. We got to the point where I was like, okay, I want to be able to see this. And he gave me a short little timeline of when he started reporting these accounts. He started reporting these accounts, one, for harassment, because they were just generally harassing people. These alt accounts were just generally harassing. He had no idea it was delirious. He had no idea for anything, but he knew that these accounts were harassing. They were spreading misinformation, and all this other stuff. So he was reporting the accounts already. But then some of the girls and Ohm, and they were in contact, obviously, at the time about all this stuff, and they ended up seeing these accounts saying things that only certain people would know. And we just saw this video where she mentions they talked about life and all this other stuff. He probably would have known that she had a child or something like that, or maybe he found out later or whatever, yada, yada, yada. That doesn't really matter. Then he got to the point where he was going to show me the email, and because he then reported saying, I believe these are delirious and that he's using alt accounts to harass people, and he reported it. He started communication with the Discord trust and safety team and the people who work with, in the trust and safety team, and certain people, and he had emails back and forth with these people, and they do the standard thing they do with all reports. They let you know, hey, what's they ask, hey, if you have any. They don't really even take proof or evidence. Could have provided the screenshots to the trust and safety team, but they were like, no, we will find them ourselves. Twitter said, no, we don't want proof, we don't want evidence, we will go find the proof and evidence, because they are Twitter, they can access private DMs, they can get in there and investigate if there's anything going on. They do the exact same thing for bomb threats. If somebody's talking about bombing a place over Facebook or Twitter, Twitter can investigate that stuff. They can look at those private DMs. So they looked into it, they found that Delirious had several alt accounts, and once they found a lock on all the alt accounts, and they believe these are all the alt accounts, they suspended all those alt accounts, and they suspended the Batcoon Delirious account. Twitter then followed up with Ohm saying these accounts were suspended for this reason, and that reason, and this reason, and that reason. Didn't show any private information about Delirious, didn't show any private information about anybody involved, it didn't show any personal information, it didn't show any personal data, it just showed the act, what happened to the account, and why it happened. So it would say H2O Delirious, permanently banned or permanently suspended or whatever for bane evasion, whatever the thing may be. And it was bane evasion, it was harassment, and obviously it was threats to this baby. And how do I know what the thing said? Well, that tweet, there's tweets going around and screenshots of her getting these messages from the Ray Harper account, and those went out, and in the Twitter it showed the ats of those being suspended, and the only thing that the email was about was Delirious and his alt, so it listed like Pizza Pirate, Birdwatcher was an alt account, and the Ray Harper was listed on there. Delirious did do this, according to Twitter, according from the trust and safety team. So now it's not even, what did Ohm tell you? What did Ohm do to you? Did Ohm pay you? Did you drink Ohm's Kool-Aid? What did you do? Trevor, TJV, you're on Ohm's side. On the contrary, I'm on Twitter's side. I saw an email from Discord Trust and Safety from Twitter and specific people who work at Twitter. And they say this. They say that. So again, if you don't want to believe me, you don't have to. But I did see it. And I wanted to be able to share that because, again, like I said, all I want is the truth. All I want is to see the proof and stuff like that. Because that's going to be the quickest way for all this to end. If it's still going to be more lies and people are going to believe in the lies, then there's going to be one side who wants to debunk one of those lies that everyone believes, and then we're back to square one. But if we have the proof, we have the truth, then there's no really else to go. You can't really disprove something that is true. You can try, but like if it's the truth and we have proof behind it, then it is. I understand Twitter, you know, that we don't have the emails between them, and I believe Ohm should eventually screenshot and leak the email just to prove this is what Twitter said. But at the end of the day, if you're working with a big corporation like Twitter, and it's the reporting system, and they normally say, hey, we don't want you to leak this information, we're only giving it to you because this is what we do when people report it and stuff like that. It is sensitive information, and they don't really want to reveal. And at the end of the day, it's up to Ohm. If it was me, I would be leaking that shit right now. I would be, because it would definitely prove Delirious is behind this and that Liz and Delirious are lying. But at the same time, it's not my decision. I didn't screenshot it. I didn't screen record it. I had my camera on. I had my hands up. I was like, Ohm, I'm not going to screenshot this. I want to see the proof. I want to see what's true. And he showed me, and I was like, okay, thanks for letting me know. I talked to him a bit about it afterwards, and then we ended the call, and I told him, okay, tomorrow's stream, I will be talking about this and revealing this. Keep that in mind. And I did the very next day, and shit fucking blew up. Shit blew up. Keemstar was starting to jump in my chat. Then the very next stream after that, he jumped in the live stream and called me on Discord. It got crazy. So again, I didn't want the Keemstar stuff to bury what I was trying to report on and what I was trying to say, but it is true. I did see an email from Twitter. I know he's this Ray Harper account. I know he's several of these alt accounts. Most of what Liz posted, yes, Delirious is those alt accounts, and some of those accounts are even bad. Some of those accounts there's proof of harassment that was going around. So again, just keep that in mind. That's all I wanted to talk to you guys and update you guys on if you're not aware. I've already said this stuff a ton of times in my live stream, so hopefully we're all caught up. Hopefully we all understand. We will now continue with the video. TJV will not show any proof. Did anybody even fucking listen? Do you think I have proof of this? Or are you just fucking stupid?
My daughter. And that is something that I'm sure any parent ever would not take lightly if their child was being threatened, or if they felt like their child was being threatened. It's not something you would take lightly. Of course, I went to the police straight away. I was scared for my daughter. And I kind of knew who it was, because isn't it a bit coincidental that the second I put up a tweet about this man, I started getting messages in my DMs when I never, nobody would have reason to threaten my baby. So I went to the police. I gave statements.
At TJV, I think people walk over the fact that you don't have the email in any way, shape, or form, LOL. I don't, but I took a poll on my live stream. I said, hey, would you guys believe me if I saw it, but I didn't have any proof? Would you guys believe me? Would there be any reason for me to lie on Ohm's behalf? Would there be any reason for that? And everyone was like, no. If you came out and said that is real and Ohm showed you, it must be real proof. You must have really saw something. So, again, it kind of destroys the opportunity. Like, if Delirious wanted to show me proof, but he didn't want to leak anything, or if Ohm wanted to show me more proof and they didn't want to leak anything, it destroys the opportunity for me to come out and be able to say, hey, I also saw this, and that this is real. I can give you an insider scoop on this. But there's no way for me to do an insider scoop if I'm going to have people sit here and say, oh, you're fucking lying. Ohm's lying. Ohm made a fake email. And I'm like, all right, I guess at twitter.com handle on these emails have to be faked somehow. I don't know how you fake that. I don't know how you get that, but okay, I guess people, whatever. So it kind of just ruins the opportunity for me to give you guys inside scoops. I would like to do that more often. I'd like to get in touch with these content creators that we are all used to watch, and we all do it, and I would love for them to tell me more information and for me to reveal it here for you guys. But again, at the end of the day, I feel like I'm just going to sit back and start commentating more, because I can't give you guys inside scoops, because there's just too many people who are too stern-headed about it. People are just go, no, you're fucking lying. TJV's awful. And I'm like, fuck, dude. Like, I'm just trying to tell you the truth. I mean, I'm approaching everything I can with the most honesty I can possibly do. But I don't know. It's kind of hard to do that when you have a lot of haters out there who will deny everything that you do. Like $2 super chat, Keemstar when he sees TJV. Thank you for the super chat. Universe 6 hit $5 super chat. I just can't see why people would think you would lie. You have been reliable throughout the entire situation. I've tried to, and there's no reason for me to lie on behalf of these other guys. I don't know Ohmwrecker. I don't know Delirious. I'm not super fans of them. I'm more of a super fan of the other Vanoss crew members. I've always watched their content, but even then, I've kind of not watched their content anymore since this drama, because I cannot watch them without thinking of it, and it's kind of distracting and it's awful. So I'm not really fans of them anymore. I still like their content. I'll watch it. I will tune into their streams when I can. I'll watch a video here and there, but I'm not as big of a fan as I used to be. And I was never a big fan of Delirious. I was never a big fan of Ohmwrecker. I always preferred Wildcat, Vanoss, Moo, Terrorizer. I always preferred them, to be honest. And I was honestly a fan of Minilad at one point until that shit came out. And then I was like, I can't really like a guy who is going to do that discussing of shit. At TJV, in all fairness, it's your truth because you saw it, not us, Yeah, and I get that. It's just, it would be nice if, like, if Keemstar got an insider scoop, there'd be a lot of people who'd sit here and say, oh, he must have saw something. If Louis came out and said, hey, I have an insider scoop, I saw something, people would tend to go to Louis and be like, hey, he could be telling the truth. When TJV says, hey, he has an insider scoop and he heard something, oh, he has to be fucking lying. That guy's a fucking liar, It's just, it's not, I get it in all fairness. It's not, you guys didn't see it, I saw it, so it's my truth, not yours. I get that, but I'm trying to sit here and make it as fair as possible. And I don't think it's fair when other people can see it and they're believable, but like for example, Chilled, if you saw it and Toy Bounty Hunter saw it and Crows of Judgment saw it and all of you guys said, yeah, TJV was right, more people would start to believe it, because they'd be like, wait, all these commentary channels must have seen it. It must be real. But when one guy sees it, and the one guy being me, it's not fair. It's not cool. It's not the truth or whatever. But yeah, it's whatever. I don't care. At the end of the day, I move on. It's whatever. I just tried to help by seeing something and being honest about it. That's all I'm trying to do.
Evidence, everything. And I was talking to people in the police department from
the Ray Harper /Survey Junkie Now account registered email was also emailing Ohm at the time, pretending to be another victim.
The cyber side of things, I began talking to police about the exploitation side of things, me being underage when all this started, because obviously I had to explain why I thought.
At TJV, we got you, bro. Whenever you can reveal it, you will. Yeah, don't get me wrong. If I hear more shit, it ain't like I'm gonna hide it and be afraid of the haters. No, I'm gonna tell you guys the fucking truth. If I find out that Delirious did something and he doesn't want me to say anything, I'm fucking saying it. I might burn my bridges with certain people if I do that, but I'm fucking telling you guys the truth. This drama's been going on way too fucking long, and the truth does need eventually to come out. One side is ultimately right. Both sides have fucked up. Both sides have probably lied at some point, but one side is ultimately right. Whether Delirious really did all these things or if Ohm conspired with these girls to make up all these stories. One of them's true, one of them's false. Okay? Or there's one side leaning to another closer to the truth and one side leaning closer to a lie. I'm still going to come out and tell you the truth. No matter what bridges I might burn, I'm going to do it. I'm not afraid to do that. I'm still going to do it. So don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to say that I'm afraid to do it. I'm no longer going to do it anymore. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, if I find out the truth, I will be telling you guys. For sure, 100%. At TJV, ever combine channels? Some people have some sort of parasocial relationship with Delirious and Liz, so they have fanboys on their side still. LOL. Yeah. I mean, the fanboys are going to go anywhere where this drama can reach, and there's always going to be defenders and all these people who are going to be antagonizers and all this other shit. There's always going to be that.
But I was getting these threats and stuff. And Twitter, I was told by the police that Twitter were doing their own investigation into this account. It's not something they took lightly either. And something that really bothered me from Liz's video is she claimed, Delirious is so dumb, like he can't even spell mountain. How would he make all these fake accounts and threaten a baby? Like nobody gives
also
a fuck
a dumb
about your baby.
excuse. Dumb excuse. It's just as dumb as the excuse that he's a family man and he's a dad. He can't even spell mountain. Shut up. Shut up. He's been using fucking computers and fucking recording software and editing software for over 10 fucking years. He can figure out how to use a VPN. VPNs are easy as fuck to use. Have you guys ever tried using a VPN? It's easy. That's what I don't like about it, is that Liz wants to make Delirious sound like he's an idiot, like he's dumb, like he can't do it. Like he can't even spell mountain. How the hell can he use a VPN? VPNs are fucking easy. I thought that part was a joke. Well, no, in this, well, if that part's a joke, then all the other parts could have been jokes too. I mean, no, seriously. She was sitting here saying Delirious doesn't even know how to use a VPN. He doesn't even know how to spell the word mountain. I'm sorry, but yet he's smart enough to maintain a YouTube channel with over 10 million subs. Yeah, for over 10 years. Yep, or almost 10 years. I don't know if it's been over 10 years. Sorry, but I think that's a dumb excuse too. Oh, he can't even spell this word. How can you do that? Well, yeah, don't base it off people's IQ. People can have just enough IQ to do pretty much anything on the internet, like VPN, stuff like that. Now, if you're saying hacking and like all this other stuff, that's a whole, that like you need a special skill to be able to hack and all this other stuff. I get that, but using a VPN, it's easy as fuck. There's free VPNs all the time. You can always use them.
But then, like, 2 minutes later, Liz, you proceeded to say, oh, but Delirious was behind this account that was harassing people that were talking bad on him.
Yep.
Harassing people that weren't on his side.
Yep.
But for some reason, he would be too dumb to make this account, this alt account that threatened my baby.
Nah, he did that.
That doesn't really make sense to me. And whether you think he did or didn't do it, you heard TJV. He's seen the email himself.
Hey, I got mentioned here. What's up? Didn't know I was going to be mentioned in this video. Chilled Venom at TJV. But Delirious can keep his identity off the internet for over 10 years as well. LOL. Yeah, he can keep his face and his name and all this other stuff. Well, I think his name got leaked in my live stream like a day or two ago because Delirious and Ohm were going back and forth. But yeah, she told me I saw the email. So, Universe 6 hit with $2 super chat. And now a word from our sponsor, NordVPN or Surfshark VPN. Surfshark VPN, you can get a free VPN where you can sit here and use it and disguise yourself like you're in any other country. If you would like to get alt accounts and sit here and harass people and go around threatening babies, download Surfshark VPN. It will save you in the long run. No, I'm just kidding. That was all a joke. Hopefully no one took that seriously. But regardless, let's review why she name dropped me again.
That doesn't really make sense to me. And whether you think he did or didn't do it, you heard TJV. He's seen the email himself. He knows that it was Delirious behind that account.
Yeah, it was. 100% it was Delirious. Twitter said themselves. It came from Twitter. It's not even my word. It's not Ohmwrecker's word. It's not even her word. It's Twitter. But, again, we already talked about it. It's my truth. I'm the only one who saw it. Ohm's the only one who saw it. But, yeah. Oh, dude, Surfshark should actually hit me up. I would do a good job I'd do a good plug for Surfshark VPN.
I know that it was Delirious behind that account because I have been working with police. I have heard from Twitter.
The account taunted Ohm on his birthday, meaning they knew who he was and had an issue with Ohm. Interesting. Red, what are you on about? TJV, if you read this, check your DMs. I'm trying to bring something to your attention and you aren't even noticing it. Yeah, because I'm in the middle of a fucking live stream and I don't want to be rude and read a DM. But fine, we're going to be fucking rude and I'm going to read a DM of yours. Red. What? I don't even know what you are. What's your name on Discord, Red? Are you grunting? Is that you? No, you're not that person. Is somebody trying to pose as me? Someone's trying to pass off as me right now. Alright, so whoever is this right here is posing as me. I'm going to open this up right now. This is not me. This is not my Discord. Thank you for bringing that to my attention. I'm sorry that I shouted at you, but I'm in the middle of a live stream. This could have waited. If it's not my okay, this is one way to check if this is me or not, okay? Let me tell you this. If you join my Discord, I am literally the server owner. Click on my name and you can see TJV hashtag and my numbers. If those numbers don't line up, then that's not me. Now, this is not me. TJV hashtag 5707. That is not me. So if you get a DM from this guy, that's not me. My Discord specifically is TJV hashtag 9588. That is my Discord. So if you're getting a message about investing or doing something like that, that's not me. Don't do that. If you see a YouTuber trying to get you to invest in something, just fucking block them. You should be like smarter than that. That's someone just trying to do that. Sorry for being a pest. You're not being a pest. I get it. You wanted to bring it to my attention. I could have handled that afterwards. And you could have just realized, hey, maybe this isn't TJ. He's in the middle of a live stream. Why would he be DMing me right now? I mean, come on. It's probably Delirious. Nah, let's not assume that it's him. But yeah, it's not me. Thanks for bringing it to my attention. If we find that person in my Discord, they'll be blocked. But as far as I know, it's not me. I'd love for that person to hit me up and act like TJV and message the real TJV and see how that goes. I would love for that to happen. I'd make a video about that and everything. Thanks for bringing that to my attention, though, Ed. My apologies.
I have heard from the police. I have had this whole thing, not just because of the alt account, but because of the whole allegations that people said, oh, like, she clearly didn't go to authorities. It is still ongoing. I have had police, I have spoke to police from different sections. I have had police out to my house multiple times. I have given statements. I have spoke to police in Ireland, the ones that came out to my house. I've spoke to them on the phone. And I have also dealt with police in America that are dealing with the situation.
Which would be the police that would probably apprehend Delirious if they actually had anything on him. Or they would deliver like a court date he has to show up to if he was being sued or anything else like that.
Again, people are going to say, where's your proof? I cannot physically give that, and that's fine. People are going to be like, oh, she's clearly lying. That's fine. You can believe that if you want.
Ohm should release the email. Ohmwrecker should release the email he had from Twitter to prove that. He should. You should release that email that proven that that was him as well. Because I don't think that would that really fuck up the investigation at all? If we just got proof that he actually is this account that is threatening the baby? Maybe it would. I don't know. Maybe I'm just dumb.
Liz claims that this alt account, the Ray Harpy account, then turned into the Survey Junkie Now account to, like, you know, play it off as, oh, it's just a spam account. Liz claims that this account could possibly be my ex, the father of my first child. I'm not with him anymore. She claims it could be him because he wasn't a nice man, and she found tweets where I was talking about him not being a very nice man. It's clear I do not like that man. So if I thought for 1 minute that it was him threatening my daughter, I would speak up on it. I would be like, oh, there's a chance that it could be him. Again, not something I would take lightly, and I would want to find out who was behind it, and get them held accountable. I would not defend my ex, trust me, if I thought for 1 minute it was him. I have no contact with him whatsoever. I haven't since my son was very, very young, and I shouldn't even have to go into this because it's personal. It's nothing to do with this situation.
I agree, especially since I know that Delirious is the Survey Junkie Now account, the Ray Harper account. It is kind of exhausting that I'm going to have to hear through this, but I will.
He is not in our lives. We have zero contact. I don't even know where he is. We do not talk whatsoever. But if he did want to threaten me, he is not the kind of person, trust me, he is not the kind of person to hide behind an alt account. He would say it, and he would say it loud and proud, and he would not care what people thought of him threatening a baby. He would do it publicly, and he would not hide behind an alt account. But besides that, besides all the speculation of, oh, well, it could be this person, or it could be that person, I know it was Delirious. I know 100%. I have spoke with Twitter, I have spoke with the police. It is proven that it is him. And
I agree. I also saw the email from Twitter.
And Liz, you're saying, oh, I'm going to put out like the good, the bad, and the ugly on everyone, all sides. Well, then
Poor TJV. They said they would believe him if he saw it, and then boom, everyone turned on him. Not everyone. There's a lot of people. Don't get me wrong. I've been talking a lot about people who do not believe me because I saw the Twitter thing, and a lot of people have been jumping on me and saying that I'm like an Ohm fanboy now, and I'm like best friends with Ohmwrecker, and Ohmwrecker's probably my basement roommate here. I've seen all of it. I've heard all of it. But at the very end of the day, there are a lot of people here in this live chat right now. There's a lot of people subscribed to this channel and who watch these videos who do believe me and who do sit here and say, yeah, it would make most logical sense that you actually saw something, because it does not line up with who you are, what you've done, for you to sit here and lie and just turn sides onto Ohm's side. Why the fuck would I ever do that? So shout out to those who do believe me. Shout out to those who sat here and have my back and have, the support that sometimes commentary channels do need. Because at the end of the day, these big content creators, they can move on. They can stop talking about it and they'll be fine. They'll still be rich. They'll make new heights. They will have the best fucking healthcare. They'll have the best fucking food to eat. They'll have the best fucking houses to live in. And these small channels out here who are just trying to get to the bottom of the truth, they're going to get swallowed up and potentially just kicked off the platform. And I fucking hate that. I hate that people will go above and beyond, do all this hard research, and they don't give the credit that they deserve. Not saying I deserve any credit, but I do think that I deserved somewhat support for me taking a very bold move, going to somebody who I've been against for months to see if he actually had proof. Once I saw the proof and I spoke on it and I said my truth, I said what is the truth, I did get support from some of you guys, and I really do appreciate it. Same thing with my staff team. Thank you for supporting me, and thanks for being there for me all this time. I really, really do appreciate it. Sorry if that got a little sappy, but I do appreciate you guys 100%.
Admit that it was Delirious behind that account. Like, you were quick enough to say, oh, okay, yeah, like, he made these stupid accounts. He was being stupid. He's so dumb. He, was disagreeing with people. Well, then he was quite capable of threatening my baby, and we know that it was him. But of course, you know how bad that is. You know he fucked up big time. And you know that if you turn around and said, oh yeah, you're hardly going to turn around and say, yep, my boyfriend threatened a 5-month-old baby. When he is a father himself. When we have a small baby, he's out here threatening. You're not going to say that because you know how shitty it is. You know that it is the lowest of the low to bring someone's child into it. Which, again, is another thing I want to bring up. I think it is the lowest of the low to bring someone's children into any kind of drama. They are kids. They don't deserve.
There's a lot of things that made you guys go super low into this whole drama thing, and I'm not just speaking to insult anybody, but this entire situation, people got from a certain status, and that now they're just doing fucking low things to try to top and get on top of one of each other. There's insults, there's character attacks, there's everything going on. But yeah, bringing a child, then that's another example of somebody going low.
To be involved in any of this. But what I find funny is your boyfriend, here's a
screenshot that went around. Blah, blah, blah. Everyone, what? Car, elaborate, and then gun.
Threatened my baby. We know that for a fact.
A water fight on Halloween. Luna is gone. I'm holding her. Lamau. Luna being the child. Lunar. Stop trolling and hiding behind
eventually. You know, like, he fucked up and it is what it is.
Stop behinding a fake page, you absolute freak. What? Luna is gone? What are you trying to get at? Did you have fun with...
Since you doxed me, people have flooded to my Twitter account, flooded to my Instagram, and have been commenting and tweeting.
You just want to play victim, but I guess go worry about your kids with different fathers. See, this is an example of, like, absolutely shitty people that I've tried to avoid it the entire time. Leaking people's, like, Twitters when they want to stay anonymous just allows people to go in there with such amount of hate. This is fucking disgusting. It's disgusting that people are going to go do this. You can have an opinion on the matter, fine. If you want to go tweet at her about the situation, ask her questions, fine. If you disagree with her, you can disagree with her. But sitting here, like, intentionally trying to hurt somebody online, it makes you a fucking troll, okay? At least when I sit here and talk bad about Keemstar, I want to meet up in person and box the guy. At least I want to sit here and handle it in person like a real man, okay? But some other people online just want to insult and be fucking rude and crude to other people, and it's just it's really disgusting, to be honest. We're probably going to see a lot of disgusting tweets if she wants to show them, but I don't know.
Replies to pictures of my children, saying those comments on...
Child stolen, by the way. Ha ha ha, so funny, guys. Ha ha ha, child stolen.
A picture of my daughter saying, oh, dude, she's stolen, this, that, and the other, you're a kid.
Apparently you blank them, lol.
Kidnapping kids, you're raping, all this fucked up stuff.
LOL, she is just trying to make a name for herself on here rather than at her 9 to 5 as a fucking stripper who got the ohm in her lap. He is a 40-something-year-old guy whining because he doesn't have a fucking life, just like you are. You have multiple baby daddies, and then proceeds to call her a very mean name. So, yeah, it's kind of disgusting people who want to go to those lengths and use that, but go ahead. It's whatever. Again, this was going to happen. Liz knew what she was doing. Liz knew if she put out her Twitter, she was going to get fucking flooded, and she did, 100%. She got flooded so fucking hard because Liz wanted to reveal who she was. Again, some people might think Liz is in the right for this. I knew shit like this was going to happen. Liz could have done her best to black out the names and say, hey, this is all from her Twitter account. And if her and Ohm came out and said, actually, that's not her, you just pulled that from a random Twitter and blacked out the name so we wouldn't see, then Liz could reveal it. Because she kind of has to at that point, right? Has, quote-unquote, has to. There wasn't even an attempt for Liz to put a warning or a disclaimer, hey, don't go there and harass and threaten and do all this stuff. But yeah, it's whatever. It's fucking disgusting, you know?
Saying that my son deserves to be upset because I had a tweet up about saying he was...
How about that? How about you stop kidnapping kids, thought? Very, very rude.
Scared, and he was crying as Joe because we had our power out, and
our power keeps cutting out, and Harrison cries so much every time because he gets scared of the dark. Hopefully it will stay on for the night now. Good. I hope it keeps going out.
Someone goes, good, he deserves it, or something along those lines. Either way, whatever it was.
If @VixenRex was telling the truth, then why in the world would she go to Ohm Lamau? He's a known liar. Clearly she just wants attention, feel bad for real victims with people like her out here spreading lies, praying karma kicks her ass, and she gets her kids taken away from her.
Do you condone that behavior? Do you condone people talking on other people's kids?
Vixen Rex, Liz only has one baby daddy. Unlike you, she didn't sleep with, let's say, more than one man.
It's because it's scummy. It's the lowest of the low.
And again, I hope Liz grows into becoming a great adult and actually puts out a disclaimer on her Twitter. I hope, regardless, people just aren't continuing to do this for weeks and months on end. Ohmwrecker went through the same shit. I'm fine with people calling out Ohmwrecker. I'm fine with people disagreeing with Ohmwrecker. I'm fine with people doing that. I'm not fine with people death threats, harassing people. That's not okay. Even Ohmwrecker, even Keemstar, don't send people fucking death threats and harassment. That's not okay. That's not okay at all. This is fucking disgusting shit. And Liz could have put a disclaimer in the video. She could have done something. She could have just not gotten involved. She could have fucking blacked out. There's so many things she could have done, but she just didn't do. She doesn't care about this girl. She doesn't care if this girl actually went through something real or not. She cares about her fucking boyfriend, Delirious. And I really hope she puts out some sort of disclaimer saying people should stop doing this. This is not okay. Yeah, you guys can disagree. Yeah, she's calling out your baby daddy for this, and that. But at least y'all guys can agree that if you got this harassment, you wouldn't want it to happen, so you shouldn't want it to happen to her. At least come to an agreement on that. That would be nice. I really hope that ends up being the case. It's fucking disgusting. It's disgusting to me, but whatever.
Like, is that the kind of people you really want backing you? Is that the kind of people you want speaking for you? And if I remember correctly, Ohm had a tweet up when all this started. Ohmwrecker tweeted, it wasn't even bad. He said that he just felt sorry for you and your baby. Having to be involved in all of this. That was not malicious. It wasn't bad.
Yeah, but you shouldn't really bring the kid into it, especially if it's about Delirious. You shouldn't even bring her into it. If she's going to pipe up and start chit-chatting, Delirious or Ohm could have ignored it and not stooped down to that level and responded to her. And you bringing up Liz and the baby, people can argue that you brought the baby into this by just simply mentioning it, which didn't need to be mentioned in the first place.
He genuinely felt sorry for you and your...
At TJV, please don't smack your desk. My subwoofer is exploding. Like, glasses on my coffee table is shaking. Oh, yeah? How was that? Was that good? Sorry, we needed some humor.
Your baby, because, you know, it's not a nice thing, all this drama going on. And people jumped on him. People attacked him, saying, how dare you bring their baby into it, and whatever. And he deleted the tweet in the end, even though it wasn't talking bad on your baby. Like, again, trust me, I would not want anything to do with anyone who talked bad on anyone's baby. And
Liz should feel the same way back. Liz should sit here and feel the same way back. See, this is the difference between someone like her and someone like Liz. Liz, if she does not sit here and say something, everyone's gonna have the perception that you don't give a shit about what people go to do towards her or towards her fucking child. I really hope Liz puts out a disclaimer at some point. If she talks about it again, put out a disclaimer. Go on your Twitter, make a quick tweet saying, hey, I don't condone harassment, death threats, or anything of that kind. Please don't do that. Please, I wish Liz would do that, but whatever.
You know, he was attacked for it, and I find it very hypocritical of these people saying, oh my god, how dare her baby be brought into it, but it's fine for them to bring my baby into it, my children. It's fine for, you know, like, it's not right.
This would be super hypocritical. This is something I agree would be hypocritical. Liz did sit here and be like, bringing my baby and my family into it, but then when people do it to her, Liz doesn't really speak up on it and say, hey, she should get the same treatment I get. We should not bring our kids into it. We should not bring our family into it.
Right. And it can't be, oh, well, it's fine to, like, bring her child into it, but not her child, you know? Kids should be kept out of it. End of. Like, regardless of whose kid it is or whatever, kids should be kept out of the drama.
Agreed.
Again, like, if that's the kind of behavior you condone, then that speaks volumes. Also, there's a lot I could bring up. You went digging into my past and brought up stuff.
Is this where she's gonna stoop really low and try to bring up shit on Liz? I really hope she doesn't. This video's been semi-fine for now. Don't stoop down low. Don't fucking bring up shit on Liz. Because this is what's gonna keep the drama continuing. I'm just letting you know.
I could easily bring up your past.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
I could sit here and I could be like, oh, you did this and you did that and you were involved in this scandal, and
don't do it.
I'm not going to, because
Good.
I don't think it's relevant to the situation.
It's not.
I don't.
LizKatz is not even relevant to anything. LizKatz hasn't been relevant at all to any of this situation at all. Like, none of it. Period. Point blank, period. When Ohm brought up Liz and the baby, she could have argued back on Twitter a bit. That would have been a little relevant. But she has not been relevant at all. Even when Twitter suspended Delirious, and Liz was the only person on Twitter. Well, we can go to the YouTube community page. We can go to his Instagram account. Delirious could have still had a handle on all of this and leave Liz out of it. But no, Liz is now involved in it. So, Liz isn't relevant in any of this. She is now because she made a video and jumped into it, but she didn't have to do that.
Want to assassinate your character? Like, it's... I'm just not that pathetic, and I'm not going to stoop that low. But one thing I do want to mention is, again, people being hypocrites. So when Sai spoke up and came out with her allegations.
Sai's the other girl. Sai and Sarah both had interviews with Ohm. That's who Sai is. Dylan Fido Super Chat. Been watching you ever since you started. Love the streams and the content you've been putting out, TJ. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Her mental health was attacked an insane amount because old tweets were found of her tweeting when she was in a bad place, and people took it and they spun it and said, oh, she's clearly mentally ill, she's clearly a liar, she cannot be trusted because she has mental health issues, which is disgusting. And my point here is, Liz, you had a video of something that happened to you at Burning Man. I really, truly, I'm sorry if, this happened to you. The point I'm trying to make is, Liz, you have publicly tweeted about your own mental health issues before. Nothing to be ashamed of. Like, that's not what I'm trying to do here at all. I'm not trying to shit on people with mental health issues or, bring up your trauma. Like, I'm not. Like, I'm just trying.
Yes, but TJV has to answer the question. Ryan, re-put your question. I don't know what question you're trying to ask me. Re-put your question.
Trying to make one simple point here is, you also have mental health issues, and you put out this video saying what happened to you. But if you're going to attack Sai and say she clearly lied because she has mental health issues, like this didn't happen to her, people with mental health issues can't be trusted, she's clearly lying, then surely people could spin that and say, well, Liz, you could easily be lying about what happened to you at Burning Man because you too have mental health issues. And I just want to clear up, I just want to make it very, very clear. I'm not saying that it didn't happen to you. Like I said, I really am sorry if you did go through that. But my point is, it's very hypocritical of you to attack her mental health and say she can't, like, discredit her. She cannot be trusted because she has mental health issues when you too have mental health issues and have not made any secret of that. Like I said, it shouldn't be kept secret, like it's nothing to be ashamed of. But just don't be a hypocrite, okay?
The tweets she showed were from different devices, so the email Should confirm Liz lied about H2O only having one phone, lol. Okay. Interesting. Like different mobile devices, or just like one's from web client, one's from mobile? Because he could have just logged onto his computer and used his computer and then used his phone sometimes or whatever. I don't know exactly how all that works, but...
So I think I've kind of said everything I need to say here. I don't want to stretch it out. I don't want to bring up stuff that, you know, I don't want to get nasty. I don't want to be petty here. But basically, all I want to say is people can attack me on Twitter and call me a liar and call me names, call me fat. Like, I'm literally pregnant, so okay. They can call me a whore. They can call... I don't care. I do not know these people. I do not care what they have to say about me. They're probably teenage boys, you know, with crusty socks on their floor. I do not care about their opinion on me.
Ryan M. iPhone, Android, web. Check bottom of tweets. Okay, I'll have to do that some other time. But yeah, thank you for letting me know that.
Whatsoever. What I do care about is the opinion of the police. So, while people are attacking me on Twitter, you're wasting your time.
Agreed.
All I want from this whole situation is for the truth to come out, and it will. And people are going to be like, oh, well, when? Like, you know, I don't know. I'm not the police. I'm working with the police, but I can't say what they're doing, what their every move is. What my biggest, like, people are like, oh, Joe, like, haha, she's getting so much hate. She deserves a dumb bitch, whatever. That's fine, because that's the worst that's going to happen to me right now. Like, you know, that's the most that's going to come out of the situation for me is a few people on Twitter don't like me. Not everyone's going to like me. I literally could not care less. What Liz and Delirious need to be concerned about right now is not slandering people on Twitter or YouTube or, you know, any of that. What they need to be concerned about is the police right now. Because the opinion of their fan base...
I'll go to Liz's reply in a second.
...doesn't mean shit. The opinion of the police does. And like I said, the police have all the evidence they need. People can say I'm lying. If I was, why would I go to the police? They would laugh me out of their office if I didn't have some sort of proof to back up what I'm trying to say. So yeah, I'm sure all this will come out hopefully sooner rather than later. I didn't want to speak on this to begin with. Kind of felt like I had no choice. I'm sure Liz will probably speak on it again when she sees this, because she probably won't be too happy about it. But like I said, it is what it is. Hopefully I won't have to speak on it again. And yeah, that's all I have to say on the matter.
With the links to the interview in the description. So, go down to the description. I'm Amy, known as Sarah, from the second interview. My interview, size interview. And then there's a lot of things in here. So, there's a lot of heart comments here. Seems like mostly all agreeing and stuff like that. That's good to hear, at least, that like she ain't getting hate here. But she probably did. The comments are probably deleted or reported or whatever. Regardless, though, Prime says, body language, why is she looking away like she's a lying teenager? I would know because I'd done that. Well, again, I don't know. I think somebody does need to look both into Liz and both videos for body language. I think that we could get some interesting results back to see if there's anything there. Comments likely filtered. Yeah, that's what I think. But again, that's fine. Just minimize the hate, showing the hate around. I mean, I'm not against that or anything. Even there's no like or dislike counter. You can like or dislike the video, but there's no counter for it. I think that's fine too. I think this video is interesting. It's very interesting. I think her video was a lot better set up, but again, it's a response video. Response videos have the opportunity to be better set up. So I think this was a lot better video than Liz's, only because Liz's did a lot of things wrong. I think the whole doxing thing could have been handled better. There could have been better disclaimers. There could have been all that stuff. In this one, she does have disclaimers. She does have responses. She does bring some receipts in terms of her ID, explaining tweets. The whole thing about the whole allegation she doesn't have any proof of, but again, she doesn't focus her time on that. She's just responding to whatever Liz put in her video and stuff like that. I think this video is fine. This is a fine video. It's a fine response. It was a lot better than I thought. I thought it was a better response than Liz's response was initially when she made her video. And I really hope Liz did put a disclaimer up or something. Some people are telling me to go look at it, so I'm going to go look at it now. LizKatz, see if she did put anything up. On her main Twitter, she's just posting pictures of herself. There is a response from an hour ago. Care to explain how you dox someone is what someone put. So it was like a main photo of her right here. We're not going to show that. Someone responded saying, care to explain how you doxed someone? And with the video, she sits here and says, you should learn what doxing is, my friend. All posts and images shown were publicly posted by those mentioned prior to this video. All of it was necessary to compile to show proof. I just connected the dots. Yeah, but by you bringing the attention to it in your video without any disclaimer, and nobody else was, you know, putting two and two together, nobody searched, you know, what was in the tweet up, no one brought that up, no one did any of that. So the fact that you brought it up, and you're obviously biased, and you're going to be on Delirious's side, and you have all these negative things to say about her, there's going to be people who are going to go above and beyond, and you never put a disclaimer. I don't even care about the doxing thing anymore, because it's in the past, it's whatever. One thing she can do, or one thing she can't do, is take it back. She can't take it back. It's on the internet. It's permanent. It's whatever. One thing she can do is put a disclaimer up and say, hey, don't send her hate. Don't do that. Whatever, blah, 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 blah. Don't send her death threats. Don't sit here and harass her. That's one thing she can do. LizKatz can do that. And there's no effort in that. She's pretty stern about it. So, it is what it is.
Who did that?
Is this Crow's a judgment? Let's watch a little bit of the beginning of this.
Any of the fucking stories, especially not this one, and you ran it anyways, and immediately you should be discredited, and nobody should take you fucking seriously. Or two, and this is my favorite one, right? You did vet the story, you did find something that did not look accurate, and you chose to ignore it because you believed her anyways, and you chose not to disclose any of it to anybody else. Either fucking way, every single thing that you fucking touch, you fuck up. Welcome back, everybody, to Crows of Judgment.
That seems a little funny. I'll have to watch Crows of Judgment, Mr. Sandchild Venom. I'm going to have to watch their videos tomorrow because I just wanted to focus on today, on what I needed to focus on. I focused on that, so I will look into Crow's video. Sen, if he has a video that comes out about it, I will focus on, or Sen, I think I already put a video up about Liz's video. Children, I'm going to look at his video. I'm going to look at all of that stuff and all that stuff. If you want to send any final super chats or become a member before the stream ends, now's your opportunity. I can give you a quick shout out for that. But as I'm wrapping up, I just want to say that first off, the Keemstar stuff in the beginning, if you have not seen that, go back and rewatch the beginning of the stream where I talk about the Keemstar stuff. Also, if someone could timestamp everything that goes on, intro, Keemstar, the video, Liz's Twitter, the little crow thing at the end, and then this outro. If someone could timestamp that for me, I'll pin your comment for you. I've had people do a really good job of timestamping it for me. I really do appreciate it. It takes a little time away from that so I can focus on some other stuff. But regardless, I want to be able to sit here and view Crow's video, Chilled Venom, Mr. Sen, all their videos. I'll view them tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday, I believe. Yeah, Friday. So tomorrow's Friday. We'll have a stream tomorrow. I appreciate all the super chats. I appreciate all the memberships. I appreciate everything. And I will sit here and chat about that stuff. I want to say about the video, the victim video, we call her Amy, Vixen, whatever. It was better than Liz's video, I think. Both of them are stupid low, though, and having to talk about it and discuss it when it could just be silent. But it is what it is, and we're here to review it and talk about it and stuff like that. And yeah, I do. Dova says, "Do you have any cat videos?" I didn't have a cat video, but I will tomorrow. I'll have like 1 or 2 cat videos up for tomorrow. We'll kick off the stream tomorrow. It'll be right around the same time tomorrow, 3 or 4 p.m. Central Standard Time tomorrow. So we'll do one of those cat videos tomorrow. And we'll show them in the beginning of the stream, just so we're all happy before we jump into the drama. So yeah, stay tuned for that. Thank you guys for all tuning in. Thank you guys for staying this late. Thank you guys for all the super chats and the memberships and everything else. I really, really do appreciate it. And then I will see you guys all tomorrow for all this. So yeah, bye everyone.